don't come by me. Go straight in tongue by where you're supposed to go. I ain't deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah, go straight by them. Tell them transfer everything to the phone and come and deal with it. Just tell them call me as you reach the store. I got your premier. Don't take no stress.
Yeah, okay, I will.
All right. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. The premier need we work with the premier to get a phone. Nobody don't mind our business. Continue, my brother. That's our premier from up Bobo Hills. We gotta get a brand new smartphone. Go ahead.
So the way these privileges and immunities are kind of put into effect, they're different from country to country. The U.S. tends to have a much more rigid application of privileges and immunities, and so the experience that a person who's a non-resident diplomat may have in the U.S. would probably be very different from they would have, let's say, going into another country. So, again, I was very surprised by the filing, but I guess we'll see how that pans out.
So you ain't trying to say nothing against our team, but you just might be saying that a game plan that we concoct with the head coach, we might lose in the fourth quarter. It might not be the best plan, the most. It's like we plan to go catch fish and the mission is to win a hockey game.
I think this is still the first quarter and we were trying to win, by the other team not showing up. So they might walk through the door at the last minute, Then we realized we're only 3 feet tall playing against 7-footers.
Boy. So this is interesting. Go ahead.
What I would say is, like I alluded to earlier, here in the Bahamas, unfortunately we had a history where there were a lot of allegations against senior members of our government in the past, particularly in the 80s. And what I would say is that the work that we've had to do over the years to kind of recover from that, it's been non-stop, There was a time when, the Bahamas and the Prime Minister of the Bahamas were all over the American newspapers. He was, accused of being a narco kingpin, and the Bahamas was accused of being a nation for sale. And that really has an effect not only on the name of the country, but also on the everyday lives of the people, because still to this day, certain countries that I go to, with my, traveling to the Bahamian man to certain places, predict, that I'm going to get pulled over for additional searches, for additional checks.
Right.
Because what happens is people around the world, they're seeing a particular story, and so they think, okay, this is what the people there are like. And nothing could be further from the truth. And so what we had to do over the past, 30 years or so, 30 plus years at this point now, we've had to kind of almost constantly remind people, these are who the Bahamian people are, these are the values that we have. We've had to conduct ourselves, in a way that demonstrates the true nature of the Bahamian people. And so programs like yours are actually very, very important, because believe it or not, those same journalists who are in the U.S. following this case, journalists they're going to be listening to radio shows like yours. They're going to be monitoring social media to see what the people of the Virgin Islands are saying. And so, you have to really take that type of opportunity to break it down to the individual level and show people this is what we stand for. This is who we are, and regardless of whatever accusations are made, the evidence will be here, and you'll be able to judge for yourself. Who are Virgin Islanders? What do they believe in? What can we expect when they're either doing business with us, when they're visiting us, when, we have to interact with them? So that's why I encourage you at the very top, stay strong and just continue to do the work that you do, because diplomacy is conducted at an official level, but a lot of it is done person to person. You know what I mean? It makes a very big difference. It makes a really big difference.
My brother, a question comes to mind. I'm not sure if it was answered in the wealth of knowledge that was shared over the last 50 minutes. When one filed for this process, it's now been about 24 hours. How long does it take? Is there a time frame? Can it be right away? Does it take a few days? Is there a general time frame from a filing to a result, just so that none of we don't catch a stroke if the news break in 5 minutes?
Well, okay, so the premier has now advanced to a stage that would be outside of the jurisdiction of the Department of State in the U.S. So it's now advanced to the level of the courts of the United States. So um, I'm not an expert on U.S. courts, so I couldn't answer that. But from my experience, the courts in the U.S. It really depends on their caseload. It depends on the priority that they assign to the matter. It depends on the restrictions of their own domestic law in terms of how long they have
Mayday,
to respond. So
Mayday.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't be able to intelligently speak to how long that
Mayday,
process should take.
Mayday.
But what I would say is, from the diplomatic standpoint, a claim of immunity, again, that would have happened immediately, you know? And so, again, because the claim has now been made in court, what it says to me is that it's very unlikely that the government of the Virgin Islands or the government of the UK have asserted that immunity.
Mayday, Mayday.
Interesting. Well, we got to keep the faith and we got to wait and see, and see what comes out. Yeah, man, very, very, very interesting situation there. Yeah, my brother.
I know you're out
we
there.
really, had these kind of insights because probably most people.
I know that you're afraid.
Probably heard the Tom
You're afraid of us.
but never really had
You're afraid of
in
change.
depth and the wealth of the knowledge that you brought forth.
I don't know the future. I didn't come here to
Even
tell you
over
how
the
this is
breaking
going
news,
to
I was saying,
end.
let's
I came
hear
here
what is good
to tell you how it's going to begin.
You want to understand what's going on.
I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
But let's
A world without rules and controls,
we'll hope
without
and see
borders or boundaries.
what happens.
A world
Say if this was
where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistance radio station. Freshradiovybz. Freshradiovybz. Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station.
Sign up now. United we stand with the Nyanki Pong Maroon Sovereign State. This is powered by Freshradiovybz and the Nyanki Pong Sovereign State. Now the dream has become a reality.
You are welcome to my island if you want to stay. You are welcome to my sunshine each and every day. It's a beautiful place to be. I know you will see. There is no other place on earth where you can be so free. So leave the rest of the world behind. Come to my island and you will find a paradise and it's waiting for you. And all the things you always wanted to do. Lie on the beach till the sun goes down. Dance by night to the steel band sound. I'm extending my hand. Welcome to my island. You are welcome to my island. Even for a day, when you've seen this side of heaven, you will want to stay. As I look out beyond the sea, it almost makes me cry. So much beauty I can't describe, more than money can buy. So leave the rest of the world behind. Come to my island and you will find a paradise and it's waiting for you. And all the things you always wanted to do. Lie on the beach till the sun goes down. Dance by night to the steel band sound. I'm extending my hand. Welcome to my island. Welcome to my island.
They will set you up.
Major.
Don't let them set you up. No.
Grand rising to all my maroon people. Uppy mighty people. Uppy mighty race.
Hey, what is man that Jah is mindful of him? When every day the world is mingled.
Gotta say grand rising to Etta Pemberton. Grand rising. We're about to go over to the House of Assembly in a minute. Hold on.
We're not the race of life. Later when I go laugh, don't let them set you up.
Don't let them set you up. Don't let them set
Don't
you
let them
up.
set you up.
No.
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 I don't wanna be set up.
We're also gonna go over to the White Sands. My God. Love and share, like and care.
Every man had the same chance.
Yes.
Every man had the same dance.
Yes.
Everybody in a romance.
Yes.
Like the world in a lost trance. Yes, they got the system fighting against the things to make us all. Yes, to live as one. But they've got a master plan.
Don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up.
No.
Yes, yes.
Babylon can't set me up.
Grand rising to all my international people that is listening all over planet Earth. Thank you so much.
People are gonna laugh.
Yes.
Again. People are gonna pass some dirty remarks.
My gosh.
Oh, my friend. Them say no watch the dog way you back. Oh no.
Cause some of them soul it last.
Oh God.
What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? To these vampires, these reptilian forces. Rise, maroon people, know yourself, maroon people, know yourself.
Hey, what is man that Jah is mindful of him? When every day the world is mingled up in sin. We see them all opposing and show off. We know the race of life. Later when I go laugh, don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up. No, I don't wanna be set up. Don't let them set you up. Set you up, yeah. Every man had the same chance. Every man had the same dance. Everybody in a romance, like the world in a lost trance. Yes, they got the system fighting against the things to make us all. Yes, to live as one, but they've got a master plan. Don't let them set you up. Don't make them set you up. No. Babylon can't set me up. Don't let them set you up. No. People are gonna talk, people are gonna laugh. Again. People are gonna pass some dirty remarks. Oh, my friend. Them say no watch the dog way you back. Oh no. Cause some of them soul it last. Whoa, yeah. Oh God, don't let them set you up.
Don't let them set you up, people. Don't let them set you up.
Babylon can't set we up.
Cameraman.
No. Don't let them set
Cameraman,
you
can we get in on shots right now?
No. Marcus Gabby still leaving.
My gosh.
We're leaving.
Grand rising.
Yes. And they can't stop no time.
Grand rising, my people. Yes.
Of this nation.
Righteousness exalted a nation. Sin is a reproach unto every single living human being. Yes.
Don't let them set you up.
It is that time. That time, my people.
Don't let them set you up.
Oh no. Don't let them set you up.
No.
Yea, though I walk to the valley of the shadow of death.
Standing up, yes, for the human race.
Let's get us in the house. Make we burn dirty Babylon. East, west, north, and south. Don't let them set you up. Don't let them set you up.
No. Babylon can't set us up.
Yes, grand rising to each and every one. We are broadcasting live from our studio right here, smack dab in Indiana. I want to say everything is not everything. We're looking at the circumstances as to the world stage that we're on, and wow, the last 48 hours have been very, 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 very interesting. I must say that, people are calling from all walks of life to know what we know. And we've known this for a very long time, that we are in trouble as a people, but we also know that we have to fix this trouble ourselves, because the people that we're waiting on to fix this problem for us is not looking to fix any problem. They are just there as gatekeepers. As you've been hearing this morning on our sister station, Tola Radio, you know, and I spoke to the father of these children. I spoke to Joe Jack yesterday. I spoke to Joe Jack, and Joe Jack, I mentioned to Joe Jack that your children, Kareem Nelson Hall and Ayana Hall, is out of control because their loyalty to the club is putting the territory in jeopardy. Now, a lot of people may not know who these characters are. Let me put up the picture. And this gentleman here with the premier that is incarcerated, his name is Kareem Nelson Hall. Get familiar with that name. He's married over to the British Virgin Islands, over to the US, the Cayman Islands, and you know, this young man returned home, and he returned with the likes of Claude Skelton, Klein, Julian Willock, David Archer. All of these people came back to the British Virgin Islands. And when they came back to the British Virgin Islands, it was such a success story that they felt left out. They felt like the island was moving away from them. And these so-called elitists, these people who are some of the bourgeoisies, for a better name, because the lady, they like the finer things in life. They spend money like money going out of style. They've been eating off of the cow off of the British Virgin Islands for decades, since they've returned home. And this morning, DJ, could you bring down the music, for crying out loud? Etta is saying that she can't hear when I'm talking. But for a better word, this morning we heard that 35 people within the British Virgin Islands sit at a table to decide the entire population where they should go. Now, this is not the first time that these people are doing these things. They have been doing these closed door meetings for a long while. If 35 people among our people is meeting with the oppressors, and then these 35 people want to choose 13 people from among them to run the territory under the auspices that they serve the oppressors, it's not looking good. Not looking good. We are bursting the bubble this morning. The club roundup is what's going on, and we're using this platform, the British Virgin Islands, to pierce the rest of the overseas territories and the countries that are swearing to serve the Queen and the heir to her throne. All these politicians throughout the Atlantis Islands are charged with treasons. You cannot serve an outside force while serving your people. So all politicians that put a hand on any Bible and swear to serve the Queen on her throne is actually committing treason against our brothers and sisters. It is of that essence this morning that we stand. We have the list of the 35 names, yes, the 35 names of brothers and sisters who have combined themselves together to sell our birthright. Because this amount to selling our birthright, what is happening? We're waiting on the House of Assembly. I think our hard-working team is telling us that the House of Assembly is up and going, and we need to go over there. But give me a bit, people. Let us get this straight. Of course, you know that the British Virgin Islands is my home away from home. I have always looked out for that place and looked out for my people overall, because we are one people, one nation of the Maroons. We're not going to be isolated by passport. We're not going to be isolated by birth paper. And we're surely not going to be isolated by the color of our skin. The list that I have here is the white paper, people, and I'm going to send it out to our little bunch of international offices that we have within the Maroons. We are using the British Virgin Islands scenario as an opening eyes for our people throughout the Atlantis Island. If you're in St. Vincent, if you're in Antigua, all these ministers have committed treason by swearing to serve the Queen and the heir to her throne. We are not, I repeat, we are not going to sit by idly while our people are in this predicament. Is the tape ready? The tape is almost ready. Let's just big up Canada also while we're at it, because we're getting some breaking news from the Canadian leg as to what is transpiring, and we just want our people to, you know, bear in mind. Let's go over to our desk. I think they have something for us.
That has just taken place here in Barbados.
Oh, Barbados. Let's go over to Barbados.
The government has just proposed a bill to Parliament for a National Credit Bureau. The report in Starcom Network says that the bill will be allowing people to get loans more easily and so on and so forth. Nothing could be further from the truth. This National Credit Bureau will be signed into law in order to be able to create a social credit system, which means that you will not be able to pay your water bill unless you have either a vaccinated status or you have complied with some other government requirement. You won't be able to have electricity unless you are a QR code holder, such as a QR code from your vaccination status, or you have complied with some other government requirement. You will not be able to own car insurance unless you have a QR code for either of the above, because you have to produce a bill of residence, a light bill or a water bill, in order to be able to get car insurance. You will not be able to drive because a driver's license will not be issued, because the social credit system will not allow you to give you a driver's license, because you will not be able to pay for it until you can prove that you are part of the system. This is the introduction of the totalitarian control that has been part of this global fiasco and that our Prime Minister has signed on to when she went to Glasgow. The UN issuing an award for climate, environment change, or whatever it is nothing more than absolute rubbish. Because the entire COP26 Glasgow conference was nothing to do with climate change. It was Barbados signing on to a global conglomerate of banking institutions in order to be able to align themselves with a new totalitarian global finance initiative. And those of you who do not believe what I'm saying, please do your research. Okay? The Prime Minister has sold Barbados to the highest bidder. That is the reason why we have an embassy in the metaverse. A digital embassy in the metaverse allows for the global totalitarian public-private partnership to own Barbados lock, stock, and barrel. And the National Credit Bureau will introduce a national credit system or social credit system which will control everything about your life. And I mean everything about your life. You will not be able to buy food unless you have complied with certain government requirements. You will not be able to pay for any commodity, fuel for your car, gas for your stove, unless you have complied with government authority. This is what's happening in Australia. The National Credit Bureau will become the social credit system of Barbados, and then they will issue an app that you will have on your phone, which you will have to sign into your app to show where you are. This is nothing more than totalitarian control of the Barbados population, and we, the people of Barbados, have to end it.
Burn them all, yeah. Blame them, oh, 'cause I will never see, and I will never stop.
As I repeat, all the ministers in the Atlantis Island are to be charged with treason right now. If you have sworn to serve the Queen and the heir to her throne, you have committed treason.
They always let the people wear a frown. I believe that them and let the people down. Them trying to blame it on the dancehall and the artists and the sound. We got it to let the people down. Then ask the ghetto youths them on my sound. Yo, Babylon a speak them words, but we no love how them sound. Got them see them wanna turn it in a gun town. No forget to you them turn in a gun clown. Gunshot a tear off them head crown. Well every other day and next body them found. Well in and them own a blood missy said them drown. Who them boy I really wanted for clown. Them this last year I am me profound and say the leaders them a let the people down. Of them holding and too strong when they drown.
And the leaders them a let the people down.
They always let the people we were from.
I said the leaders them a let the people down.
Try to blame it on the dancehall and the artists and the sound.
The leaders them a let the people down. Whoa.
Promises a comfort to a fool. Babylon I said them a go build more centers and school.
Yes.
I know me never see a chair and decks, much less a stool, much less a yeah, wanna hear me now? Me never see a pencil nor a pen, much less a rule. How them wanted for food.
The phone lines are open right now. 260-209-8730. I wonder if Wendy working. Hold on. The leader. Oh Lord, hold on, people. Stop the rhythm from it. Stop the rhythm. We're live smack dab in the British Virgin Islands, and I think we do have Her Royal Highness Wendy. She's sipping on some pina colada.
It's reawakening. I'm reawakening, looking out into Great Harbor, and
God.
I was up early and.
How is the atmosphere? How is the breeze over there? How is the breeze over in the British?
Well, I'm at Cool Breeze. I'm at a restaurant called Cool Breeze, owned by my friend Rose and John Shinnery.
Yes.
And it's right in the center, next to the Customs building, looking out toward St. John. You can see the ferries coming in over at Dog Hole.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful. I mean, the weather looks like it's starting to clear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just out volunteering. That's what I do. I beautify wherever I am. We all share the same space.
Yes.
It needs to be done. It was all sand duned and overgrown with vines by Irma. So we make a new space. You sort of
Wendy, I don't want to cut. We're getting news that Julian Willock has been apprehended. Are you hearing anything on the ground that the Speaker of the House of the British Virgin Islands have been asked to resign, and the Royal Virgin Islands Police?
For what reason? What was the charge?
Mr. Hickenbottom said that all the ministers have been found guilty of breaching Her Majesty's registrar.
Even Carvin Malone?
Even Carvin Malone. We also have a list here with Carvin Malone name on it. He seems to be on the run right now. There's a lot of... Where are your ministers running to? When they bring up us a scratch, what has happened? Andrew is incarcerated. The country is upside down. Leaders are...
I told you already. We have lost our moral compass. Humanity has lost its moral compass. It's up is down, left is right, no is yes. What's become of us? Stephen Hawking, I told you, he's correct. He says the downfall of mankind is going to be of his own demise.
Yes.
Greed, selfishness. That's basically what's taking us down. Power, money. You know what life is all about. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right, baby?
No, you have lived in this beautiful place called the British Virgin Islands, and you were screaming at the top of your lungs when you were saying something is not right. Something is not right.
No, I knew what was going on the whole time, but nobody would listen to me. Nobody wanted to listen to me. So you don't have to listen to me. I'm not out here to try to be... I'm just trying to let everybody know what's going on, but people will just turn their heads like ignorant, blind-eyed, turn the other cheek.
No.
Like Andrew did. Turn the other cheek. Oh, I don't see. It's like driving by. They built up a wall against in India so that when the premier came, he wouldn't see the slums and the abject poverty. And they built this wall up so he could drive by and see everything's wonderful, everything's fine. It's just, you can't live a lie for so long without hurting yourself or the ones you love around you or the people that you've been entrusted to elect. You've been elected, and the trust has been given to you, that through you will do the will of the people. You will conduct the will of the people under the Constitution that we all fall under, and it was written by the people for the people. And now we're in a position where, I'm sorry, but we are not a country, as I keep reading people say, oh, our country. No, you are, as Kishma Penn said, that must be the loudest vehicle on the island going by, a dependent territory. We are British Overseas Territory, a BOT, under the jurisdiction of the Queen. Now, she appointed Sir Gary Hickenbottom, who had done work in the Falkland Islands, to investigate certain things. And basically, questions under legal inquiry are rhetorical questions. You never want to ask a question you don't already know the answer to. So they already knew. They just wanted to see what they would say. You know, these undeclared interests. You know, they gave them time. They gave them due process. They had enough time.
Yes.
You know, they didn't even get a chance to go into customs and investigate the whole customs structure and operation. But you can only have so much time to do. They know they're corrupt, and it's going to weave itself into that area too. But as far as I can see, what do you think about? I don't believe that Andrew should be able to hold any other governmental public office anywhere. Well, he wouldn't leave the British Virgin Islands. He was going to be shamed. You know, either way you look at it, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, well, Andrew,
I don't wish bad on anybody, but I wish justice and I let karma do its job. You made people suffer since Irma with no aid, no help from you, empty promises. You lied to our faces. Our kids are upstairs at Foxy's Learning. The school you promised us, a community center where everybody could gather without getting wet. They're going to leave. They change now. They're going to leave the soccer ground, basketball grounds down below. So if it floods, well, too bad for that. But the building is.
Mark, Grand Rising. Hold on, Wendy. Mark, are you busy?
Hold on, Bridget. Come back in about 5 minutes.
All right. I'll add you back to the call.
5 minutes. Maybe a little pressure check. May I check the pressure?
I will, sir. I will. That is Minister Mark.
All right, cool.
We're getting
5 minutes.
Yes, sir. We're getting all of. Hang up your phone, Mark. Yeah, Wendy, that's a minister I'm trying to get, because I figure more or less that just what happened in Turks and Caicos, that's what happened this morning. I hear that 2 custom officers have been apprehended by Her Majesty's Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, and we hear that there's a list in the governor's hand, Wendy, of bankers, business people. I can read it out. Wendy, what is really unraveling right here is the entire higher echelon of the Virgin Islands aristocratic club members labeled as criminals. No, I don't understand. Hello, Wendy? I'm not hearing her right now, people. I had her on a while ago, you know, and we have Mark on the line also. Wendy, are you there? We'll have to call her back on the level. It's another beautiful, sentimental day right now. It's happening as we speak, where we are getting breaking news that Julian Willock, yes, and I'll look for his exchange here on the link where Julian was very much involved with Mr. Hickenbottom, and Mr. Hickenbottom has asked for him to Grand Rising.
I'm back on.
Listen to me, Wendy. I am cut from the other day. I've asked special security for you, because now that this is unfolding, a lot of people. Sorry, Mark. Hang up. Sorry, Mark. We didn't mean to call you back right now. Hang on.
Like 5 minutes, and we're good.
Yeah, hang on. Cool. I don't know.
I've had security. Listen, I've had security my whole life. I've had bodyguards my whole life. Security my whole life. People following me around.
Yes.
I know I'm tired of it, and I don't want it anymore. I have enough friends and people and Just Van Dyke who can look at you at a flicker of an eye from a mile away and tell what your intention is. So I'm really not concerned. It's sort of like a big family. People look out for each other, even though they may not talk or to each other. They'll tell somebody indirectly, and then next thing you know, 45 minutes later, everybody knows what's going on. So I feel
Yellow people, we're working with technology right here. As I said before, we're smack dab in the British Virgin Islands. We're going to be there for a while, because with this revelation that's taking place, we know that the powers that be is trying to sabotage this link, but it's too late for that right now. It is much too late. We're asking Sister Joyce. She called in on the morning brief. She was on our airwaves this morning simultaneously with the happenings that's going on. We're going to get back Wendy on the line because it seems as if the powers that be is trying to distract what is going on. But do we have anything we can put inside the mix right now? Because we understand that Shireen Flax, who is a part of the BVI government, and Carvin Malone, who is also a member of the BVI Virgin Islands Party, Julian Willock, also a member of the Virgin Islands Party, several of the NDP representatives. We know that Myron V. Walwyn, his name has been called by Mr. Hickenbottom because of the wall. But DJ, play something in the meantime, between time. Let's see if we can relocate some of our analysts on the outside.
Will the prosecution please present your opening statement?
Yes, Your Worship.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Some people in Total are telling me I should get into politics. You ain't
hi.
reducing
Hopefully
of
you're not listening to me.
corruption while others biting their lip.
Chaos over here.
Get that idea right out your mind, cause I can't handle that stress.
Grand Rising. Wendy, who you have on the line with you, Wendy? Who you have on the line with you? So like you have to...
Just myself over here on Just Van Dyke, but it says, when it comes up, it says Ross, Mark, Curtis.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone there.
I was trying to get Curtis, are you there? Hello? No, Curtis. Mark is doing something, so he mute his phone. But I was trying, when it seemed as if the powers that be is trying to silence you, Wendy. I don't know.
They always have. Honorable Neville Smith tried to silence me from day one. Finally, people stood behind me and said, this isn't an autocracy. You can't squelch the democratic voice of the citizens. They have a say and a right to express their opinions about what's being done or what's not being done. It's the taxpayers' money, or it's the money that's been given for a certain reason to go to people that needed it and were accounted for to give it to. Nothing was accounted for. Thank God for the auditors. They're wonderful. They came clean and honest. And the gap between the reality and the marked up on the books is all the books just happened to cross my desk, and I just happened to look and put down any number and make sure that money disappears somewhere. I understand now after talking to some people. We're not talking about millions. Mm-hmm. On some of them, we're talking about they stashed close to like $1 billion.
Hold on. You're saying close to like $1 billion maybe stashed away by these club members?
Yes. There's been a big, huge rake. There was COVID was everybody was an opportunist during COVID.
Yeah, listen to me. And this is where I say that when I heard Ayana Hall on the national radio station this morning, suggesting, she said that there's a list, Wendy, with 35 people that went around who after all of this scheming taking place, 35 names was put up saying that they could take over from these bunch of club members. Did you hear, did anybody from the government or any secret society approach you, Wendy, about the governance of the country?
Well, the governance of this country is under rule of the crown. It says legally for 2 years, but we are in triple hot water than the Turks and Caicos. So I do believe, in my opinion, it's going to take possibly another year to get through the hot mess that these
to run through
dishonest people put.
I I'm hearing that papers and shredder machines are working overtime in the BVI. I hear
Yes.
I hear that people
Yes.
are shredding the evidence.
You think once if people find out about something, they're not going to move on it?
Yeah.
Listen, as soon as the latest fashion comes out, they're at the fashion warehouses. Those places are buying them, snapping them up. Everybody wants to be the first to hear the news. Everybody wants the first to go undercover and snag part of the cheesecake that they can get, pocket away, snatch it away. They can do whatever they want. They can retire when they want. They can invest where they want. They can have homes and boats, vehicles, travel when they want. They just, as long as they have a SWIFT account, that's why that whole international connected by SWIFT. Transfer of money, registering of money, any money moving between banks, accounts. It's great. Like we've cut Russia off from the SWIFT banking system. And then, of course, he's got the central banking system of a country, which runs everything and divvies out the monies when needed for projects or war. So whoever's still buying fossil fuels and coal from Russia is paying for the war, the Ukrainian war.
Lord.
So Germany, at first they walked back on what they said. First they sent 5,000 helmets, and everybody in the world thought it was a joke. They're like, what are they going to send pillows next? Then Germany committed a little bit more to sending some fighter planes and some missile interceptors. So, and then I believe they minimal amount of that. They're just not committed because of their interrelationship.
I am more so because for each bomb that drop in the Ukraine, the British Virgin Islands are the offshore trust company who cash in, and people don't understand the mathematics of these things. They believe that the crown is actually coming to save anyone. The crown is actually coming to capitalize on
No. They believe that the crown is coming to recolonize them, take away the Constitution and completely rewrite it for the benefit of the crown. The crown is not interested in acquiring this place.
Wendy, you know that when I talk to you, Wendy, I don't just talk. I have in my hands right now a few documents, a few sheet of paper with names on it. And I have this name.
Who are a couple of the names that we'd be a little shocked and disappointed in?
This list that I have this morning on the International Grand Rising Show, it is the regular list that you and I know. You and I.
Mark Vanderpool. Go ahead.
Oh, Jesus. Who you said? I hear like you mentioned Honorable Mark Vanderpool. Is he on the paper?
But that's a Jamaican slang accent.
Oh, this is Rose Shinnery, owner of Cool Breeze.
Let me talk to Rose. Rose, let me say good morning. My God, I can't. How you doing, Rose?
Yeah, hello?
How are you?
I'm okay.
Rose, I understand. Are you a Jamaican, Rose?
No, I'm not.
Rose, you're from the beautiful...
She's a strong Haitian woman. She's a strong Haitian woman. She'd work so hard.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. The Haitians over there, too. That is why Andrew's in jail this morning, because don't mess with the Haitian bloodline. They're very much... But, Rose, we have a list here, and I hope you're not related to anybody on this list, Rose, because this list, the MI6 is in the country right now, plus the DEA, picking up people. Give me your take, Rose, on what's unfolding in that beautiful neck of the woods. Because when
oh boy,
yes,
I wish I could, but I can't because hold on. I'm one of Jehovah's Witness. We don't take part in politics.
Oh, Lord, you drink the water. You drink the water, but you don't really.
No, we don't.
You don't.
So we have a whole heap of guys at the back. You can speak to them, but.
Trust me, she has a very strong opinion, but evidently her religion, which I don't think John Shinnery was even a part of. Yeah. But whatever, Rose rules. We respect her beliefs, and
but
everyone respects everyone's beliefs.
But with this list that I have this morning, this list is not looking good. I have a
tell me a few names on that list that we would be shocked.
There's a custom officer name on this list, and I know that the Oliver Maynard, God bless her, wherever capacity she's in a jail cell, she's a good person. It's just that she has bad people with bad intention. But we understand that 2 of the British Virgin Islands hard-working custom officer has been apprehended from yesterday, and we're trying to confirm it. We understand that Black Mary and Frenchie is incarcerated. I don't know how true it is. The names on this list here is humongous. Wendy, on the list also, Carvin Malone and Julian Willock is in a peculiar situation. Give me your take on that, because Mr. Hickenbottom sent especially for Julian Willock, said he want to personally interrogate him again.
Absolutely. I just think, the HOA should have been burned down long ago. And why should the BBI taxpayer pay for any legal fees whatsoever for any of the House of Assembly members or any legislative council member? I don't believe that that's the only good thing out of this whole shutdown operation is now we can find a place to park closer on the waterfront. Or in the government, where they park, there'll be more parking for everybody. Oh, that's the upside. I thought it was a joke.
Some of those parking spots will not be occupied for a while. We are also seeing on the list right here, Claude Skelton Klein. Wendy, talk to me about that character.
Claude Skelton Klein.
That character is a special character. Talk to me about him.
Claude Skelton Klein?
Yes. Is he deserving?
I've listened to his broadcasts and his uplifting and inspiring. He is so full of crap.
He's full of
most people anywhere. He talks up a good game. He will convince your mama, your grandmama that the sky is green.
Hello.
No, I'm telling you, Skelton Klein probably has more secret interest put away than anybody else.
Wendy,
and he up there talking justice and oh my God, help us.
Wendy, this is a man of God you're talking about. Your friend a while ago at Diati Jehovah's Witness, they know that these Christian man-made people is going to come under prosecution. Claude Skelton is a good fellow. He's a good fellow.
Oh, he's a good fellow. I'm glad we all have our opinion and it's a democracy.
Okay. On the list again, another Klein is popping up on this list, Wendy. I am concerned because here goes another man of the cloth, and the British Virgin Islands is known for its Christian community, God-fearing people who share everything equally, who take care of their responsibility. Why is John Klein name on this list, Wendy? Why?
First of all, I'm a Buddhist. Let's get that straight. I'm not Christian. I'm no pagan either. I'm deeply spiritual and a yoga teacher, as well as I'm an educator, an administrator, and a grant writer. So you know what? I just believe that Skelton Klein.
Yes.
You mean by what he says or his actions?
No. The list here that is going around is the implication of criminal activities. And I know Claude has never ever come out.
Have you ever traced all of his communication, cell phone communication contacts, his IP addresses, who he's been contacting, any of his banking numbers, transferring through, like I said, the SWIFT banking system, checking each bank and see, there's always a paper trail. It just takes time, some resources to track it down, but I think under these circumstances, it ought to be pursued.
Well, I'll call my Irish counterpart over Digicel. I think Alan Bates still have a say in it. He can do all the trackings that I want. You know, I'm very much into technology. But this with John Klein is a man of God. Why would MI6 want to talk to John Klein? Why would MI6?
You mean Skelton Klein?
Both Kleins, John and Skelton.
Yes. Yeah, I know. So I hear now.
Yes, it is.
And you know what? I just believe we dig our own graves, basically, and it's just a matter of time before like you give enough rope for a man to hang himself. You know, eventually you're going to slip in and there you go. You're done. I just think is the longer and the harder you deceive the people that have entrusted you with their word, I just think that eventually the harder they come, the harder they fall. You know, these little expressions that I use, people are like, oh, so cliche. But it's true. It's true.
I personally believe that the Kleins will get their day with MI6. I listen to me. The Council of Churches has also put out a pray for criminal campaign. I mean, a pray for the premier campaign. And when they're asking you to utter a word of prayer for Andrew, please forgive all the atrocities done to you, but ask God to let him out. They're asking you.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Right. God will put food in your mouth. God will put a dry roof over your head. God will put wheels under you. God, you know what? I have faith, sheer blind faith. I believe. You have to believe.
Yes.
If you don't believe, life is not worth living. You need a purpose. And you find your purpose and you passionately pursue it and you stick to it and you hope that you can change lives on your way through our short link of a life. And then, but if you've been out for years and years and you fell into this, like I said, you woke up and you had a choice to say yes or no. And you chose the path of ill gains, deception, cronyism, favoritism, all the things that you are not supposed to take part of that you have over the course of 24 years, even in education. He shouldn't have been in education. What does he have? Has he have a doctorate in education?
Breaking news.
Watching him speak and listening to him.
When the breaking news, we are hearing that the ex-honorable Myron V. Walwyn name is on this list. Why would they want to put Myron name on this list?
I don't know. You know, I'm trying to understand what's the history behind Myron Walwyn. What party is he, and what was his?
Well, I know that he was a minister of education that said that the wall cost how much? 200 million. I can't lose figure.
So he was part of the wall deception.
Oh Jesus! Oh my!
No, was he? Was he part of the whole wall deception thing with the contractors and all?
It was under his watch that the government built that wall for the high school that is damaged.
Well, you know what I say when I'm in a very blunt mood?
Yes.
You better pack your desk and your box and get the hell out. Right? Like Beyonce says, all your things are to the left. There's the door. Don't forget to leave the keys to the Benz.
Oh Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on the International Grand Rising Show. We are smack dab in the British Virgin Islands, unfolding the roundup people. We hear that after the apprehension of Mrs. Oliver Vine Maynard and Andrew Foy, we understand that several other officials are on the radar. Let me just read something that's coming from the governor's desk. It says, over the coming days, more arrests are expected as more of these enablers and facilitators within Premier's Foy network will be exposed. As he negotiates a plea bargain, as Andrew Foy, because we can't call him honorable no more, as Andrew Foy negotiates a plea bargain for himself.
You call him a rat. He's chief rat.
He's a rat. I call him a chicken anyhow, because he himself says the head of the chicken, the Foul Cub government of the Virgin Islands Party. It says here, the governor said that I expect the names of other government officials, law enforcement officers, businessmen, attorneys, bankers, and party.
Does that surprise you? Does this surprise you?
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. We have the list here. Eustace Freeman is on this list for MI6 under the Festival and Fairs Committee. We are hoping that these people turn themselves in and don't embarrass the country with any more public arrests. We're asking that.
Well, if they have that much money in their flight risk, they better put them at a stop, no fly at the airport.
Well, as it's not about the airport. There's 2 naval barge right now in the vicinity of the Virgin Islands with enough guns and marines to circle the island. Nobody's going anywhere this morning anytime soon. I don't think that.
Well, I'm sure that the source of all the violence has been listening to what's been going on.
Yes.
And this is like they bring the ships to Scotland Yard down. Of course, they're not going to be running and flying and doing the drops that, like Miller used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and take the boat on the other side of the quay and go pick up their floating packages. Bring them back, and, I know the runnings.
Wow. People... Continue.
No, go ahead. I'm out of business. I'm distracted. Rosie eating ice cream.
Okay.
Shama's talking to somebody who's getting grain. No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Anybody around you want to say something, feel free to pass the phone to them,
Shama's, she's from Grenada, and then Blossom is, where are you from, Blossom?
Jesus, the melting pot.
Somewhere down the road, she doesn't want to talk. So nobody wants to talk
Doesn't
because
matter.
they don't feel that they don't. You know, I don't think they have enough to contribute. But oh my God, if I go out here, wait a minute. I have the whole. I got the whole crew out here. Hey, anybody interested in contributing to the biggest radio talk show about
what's going on?
So vocal.
Where the workers them there, we are smack dab in the BVI, and as far as the government go, I have something from the governor who says that if you're a banker, government official, law enforcement officer, if you're operating a business in the British Virgin Islands, you are at risk right now because MI6 is rounding up all of these club members. It is a shame this morning that our own...
Yeah, but retired auditors are going to have to come out of their hiding and start auditing. It's going to be a lot of personnel power.
Yes. The governor...
But they'll all go down eventually. I mean, like Putin, it's going to take years for war crimes and conviction. But, you know, eventually he's going to rot in a cell.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
Continue with the governor's letter. It said this should be a wake-up...
All right, what did the governor say? Just now, what did he say?
The governor said this should be a wake-up call for all politicians across the region, not just the British Virgin Islands. My God. That no one is above the law. Willfully blindness to criminal activities, particularly relating to money laundering and drug trafficking, will not be tolerated. It will not be tolerated.
Then why aren't they renouncing him? Nobody's renouncing him except like Mitch and Julian and Marlon. What's going on? Renounce the man. Why are you keeping associated with this type of activity? We don't want that in the BVI. We don't want people wanting to come here and research it and say, oh, we're not going through a drug capital. There might be violence and corruption, and we don't know if we'll get through with the offices to sail and have our time out there. No. You want a nice, clean, honest government.
Yeah, but I'm saying that none of the above, none of the politicians who serve under Andrew Foy has come out and condemned this sort of nastiness that's going on. And I believe that
none of them.
I believe because my hit song Don't Let Them Set You Up is leading them on, they figure more or less that we the people are stupid, that this is a setup. The setup that take place.
Right. He set up his own self.
Yes.
Set-up.
Listen.
Yeah, he set up his own self with the DEA agents.
Yes. He set up himself by mistreating our people. The Virgin Islands.
He said that he realizes he was mistreating his people and denying them the money that was sent through foreign aid for the people who needed it, and it never got it.
Yeah,
some people who got aid, I never see them fish yet.
Yes.
Farm what?
Never. I've never seen any one of these culprits.
People there, their house gone, waiting 6.5 years, leaking, molding, and nothing. Not even a bottle of water.
Wow. I hope they don't treat Andrew
They just started the construction, so.
I hope they don't.
Anyway, we're not talking about me. We're talking.
Hold on. I have one of my brethren. Wagwan Michael. Wagwan Michael. Michael, your name is not on the list. Michelle Wagwan, your name on the list. I'm calling this morning because I have a list here with names from the British Virgin Islands. It's a roundup people. Any one of you on the list? Let me look properly. Look on the M.
Unfortunate, no.
Yes.
What's going on?
Michael, I have a list right here. I'm looking on the M. There's a Michael here, but it's not your last name, sir. We're doing the roundup for MI6. We don't want MI6 to pick up none of you. We'll pick you up yourself. Just stand by the gate with a suitcase. We drive by and pick you up. Michelle, we have a list here with some of the politicians' name on it, Michelle. How are you doing, beautiful? How are you doing, by the way? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Boy, I haven't heard that voice in ages. I keep calling you, but you don't answer. You're too busy. I hope you're busy. Michael, walk on. Big up with yourself. How are you?
I'm there, my son.
All right, Michael and Michelle. Wendy over Just Van Dyke over there. She's sipping on some pina colada because she don't trust what's going on in the country. Talk to me, people. What's happening? Because the international market is blazing. Everybody you turn asking where is BVI and what is BVI. Michelle, as a daughter of the Sile, how you feel this morning? Michelle?
Yes?
How do you feel this morning about the present situation?
Not good.
That's the House of Assembly you're listening to?
I'm Mr. Tolerator.
Oh, Lord, Tolerator. They run with us too. But you're not feeling good, Michelle. You're not feeling good.
No.
Are you surprised as a daughter of the Sile of the British Virgin Islands? Are you surprised?
Yes, I am.
What are your surprise? What is your surprise about the unfolding of what's going on?
Everything. But I do agree this has come from the head. And president of the head is the governor.
Yeah. Yeah, but Michelle, look how long we've been saying that something isn't right. The hurricane came, but long before the hurricane we were saying something wasn't right. Nobody wasn't listening as far as we're concerned. So now that it's unfolding where the governor is taking full control of the island, you say that you're surprised. Do you blame it on the governor, or do you see the leaders as incompetent as they are?
Well, the leaders maybe were tight too. Okay, remember he's a big one. They pull the strings. They don't want to lose a job.
Yeah, but the governor don't have nothing to do with hurricane relief issuing out properly. The governor don't have anything to do with money dispersing. Michelle, you live in the island, and I'm sure that after the hurricane, have you gotten a check for hurricane damages?
No.
Have you gotten a check for the COVID-19 pandemic? Have you gotten a check?
No. The
governor has nothing to do with these decisions because the governor is overseeing the actions of our leaders. Our leaders swear to serve the queen and the heir to our throne, but they have money because you know that they take out. Excuse me, there. Let me say this, right, Michael. Did you get any of that Social Security money that was put out, the $12 million that Ronnie Skelton said that after the hurricane it would share for the people who went through the disaster? Did you get any of that money, Michael?
Nah, me not get no of that money, you know.
None of that money, Jesus Christ.
Nah.
Michael, did you get a check from the COVID-19 pandemic?
Nah, nothing from the COVID-19.
Did any one of these government officials that's out there saying that the governor is doing a bad job, did any one of these government officials come into your neck of the woods and ask to grant you any assistance?
But me don't sign up for no assistance from the government.
You don't
because
have...
me not deal with because trust me not deal with no politician to come back and tell me straight out, you know, in the election manifesto they give you this and they give you that.
Yes.
If you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. But
because you know when election come around, it's a different story.
Yes. It's a touching situation, but Michael, at this appropriate time, the politicians are asking that you come out and march. Michelle, will you go out and march to save these
I can't walk but to march, so don't ask me that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
the marching is different, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm saying is,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, the Premier of the Virgin Islands.
Yes.
He made a mistake. He do what he do.
Yes.
We should the whosoever should deal with him as an individual.
Yes.
But Michael, it seems like it was
the Virgin Islands. The people of the Virgin Islands, right?
Yes.
Remember, slavery abolished hundreds of years ago.
Not under the Virgin Islands Party. The Virgin Islands Party has brought back pain and suffering worse than slavery to our people. So I don't want to use those terminology about slavery abolished because the way how Andrew was and his gang was dealing with us as a people, not even the slave master don't deal with us. So.
I understand what you're saying, but
mute your mic, people. Mute your mics, please. Continue, Grenada. Yes.
Guys, fix my truck.
Mark, mute your phone, Mark. I'm gonna bring you in a bit. We have Mark, the minister over there, and Wendy and Michelle. But Michael, you were saying that regardless of how bad Andrew and the VIP party treat our people, we're still supposed to stand up for them, right?
No, we're standing up for the VI.
But you can't stand up for the VI with these criminals in the front line. Look at yesterday.
Okay, yeah, but
look at yesterday's march. The likes of John Klein should never, ever be out there. The likes of Kedrick Pickering should never, ever be out there. We, the people, have to make arrest of these people and then tell the governor, say, see there, these are the criminal accused. Let us deal with our country now. But as long as you have yes.
We want to deal with the country, right?
Get rid of the criminals. Get rid of the criminals first.
Right, so get rid of the criminals, but deal with the country.
Yes, then you can deal with the country.
Should never go under the country shouldn't and must never go under the British rule. Because we have competent people in the Virgin Islands to rule the Virgin Islands.
I agree, but you must understand, Michael, that these brothers and sisters swear to serve the Queen. Now, the Queen owned the registrar. The registrar has been compromised because they have broken the rules of the registrar. The Queen said, because you've broken the rules, you're all criminal. That is why Andrew don't have any diplomatic stand to stand upon and people won't talk it as is. Once the Royal Virgin Islands Police have a charge against you, you are in the books as a criminal. There is no criminal right there that can serve Her Royal Highness crown. So the people of the British Virgin Islands and other islands that are listening need to have the audacity and the power to make citizens arrest of these people and hand them over. We will support our brothers and sisters because we're not handing them over to the crown, but the crown has an accusation placed on them. So we're going to stand by them for a fair trial. But in the meantime, to separate the sheep from the goat, you have to put these people who have been charged with a charge by their name over to face trial, and then we can say, all right, now you have the criminals. Let's talk about the future of our people. But you cannot have people in March talking about how much we together, we one, all are we from here. That's utter bullshit. Don't work. Don't work, people. Can't work,
Can I say something?
Welcome, Mark. Yes.
When you have a certain level of responsibility, if people give you a certain responsibility, then you need to act on your responsibility.
Yes.
One of the reasons why we have the leaders we have today is because of the process that allows them to be elected. The process is flawed, and it still gives control to the powers that be. These people are figureheads for other peoples, not for the community. I mean, the African standards that we had were people well respected in the community that mediate conflicts. They run the village. That is the kind of system that we need in place, not the colonial system that gives us the impression of being independent, but in fact we are still under their governance by using their figureheads to do their bidding. So we need to change the process. I met the gentleman who got locked up. I think he should be locked up for stupidity. Very amicable guy. Bought a couple paintings from me. Didn't believe that he would have
Andrew, listen to me. Let me put a disclaimer right here. My caller bought these paintings under the auspices that there was no money laundering or drugs trafficking connection to these paintings, because Mark, the MI6 and the DEA is looking at all affiliated connection.
I don't give a rat's ass who them want to look. What I'm saying to you, I don't have none to do with none of them.
No, but this is how it is presumed. This is how this guy make his money by.
This was long time ago, brethren. Long time ago. Okay. But what I'm saying to you,
yes, sir.
I live a life that if a guy really want to come deal with me, he must come good, because me not hide from nobody. Me not do nobody nothing. Me not do nobody nothing. I'm above board. Me go my bed at night time and sleep well, my you.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
So So if you want, yeah.
Let's not. I was just mentioning that because the DA. I have a list here, Mark, and the list is so long. It's 9 pages.
I appreciate your concern.
Yes.
Because it's good to look out for our brothers and sisters. Because we know that the fight is real.
Real.
And them after everybody, my youth. You know.
But
I don't know why these people. I don't know why in God's name these people don't understand.
What do you mean by you don't know why?
Everything you do,
yes,
you're being watched.
Yeah, but this is.
And a man like him, no, right? A man like him, and I said I like the guy.
Yes.
Very.
I like the guy too.
Jovial brethren, down to earth. It saddens me, man.
No.
It saddens me that we allow ourselves.
Mark.
First of all.
Yes.
Me wouldn't go to America for collect no money, Rasta.
Hold on, Mark. Minister.
Hold on, one second.
Yeah.
Me would not go to America to collect no money from no guy. If you want, give me money. Come on, where me live. Come give me the money. That's number one.
Yeah.
And number two. You have to understand that. Everything that you say, when you're a figurehead, they hide the monkey climbing us, the more mass get exposed, right? He's a leader of a country, and he's been watched all the time, all the time. And some look at monkey money, $750,000 Rasta. If you tell me 50 million, I can say, boy, nah, send me that detail. But let's look at monkey money, Rasta. There's always is that you give up your whole life and your reputation for some little foolishness like that. It's sad. A lot of people don't understand.
Hold on.
Don't understand that.
Hold on, I'm getting breaking news here, Mark. I've just got another breaking news. We understand that Julian Willock, they're not saying that he's on the run, but this is the House Speaker for the British Virgin Islands. I know the last time he was there, the news is coming out. I'm trying to verify it as we speak. The breaking news is popping, people. We're all over it. MI6 is inside the British Virgin Islands, and also the DEA under the premises that they are giving good governance. As you know, this all stemmed from the arrest of the Honorable Andrew A. Foy, the Premier of the Virgin Islands and the leader of the Virgin Islands Party, who is in office. You said that you and Andrew was friend. I am holding in my hand here, people, a letter. If you see it, it marks the House of Assembly. It marks the House of Assembly, British Virgin Islands. And I must say that our people inside the BVI, thank you so much for holding on to this small stem of hope, because when I left the BVI in 2013, the club members, the Freemasons, Masonic brothers and sisters, figure more or less that was the end of Godites, but I have gotten much bigger. The whole thing stemmed from greed in the British Virgin Islands. Julian Willock, as I said before, Michelle, that's a very cunning gentleman. Wendy can speak on it also, but he took on the establishment of the Crown when the Commission of Inquiry came in. He was very feisty, as what Mr. Hickenbottom says. Are you surprised, Michelle, that Julian is on the run this morning?
Yes.
You're surprised that Julian is on the run?
And sometimes, they would say a man on the run and not really on the runner, but it gives the perception of him being a fugitive.
No, but this brother is one of the brothers who started out of Capital Production with a car show, came back to the BVI, saw the growth of the country. He and himself, David Archer, who is now the deputy governor, a disgrace to our people, because the first black deputy, and he doesn't mean anything to our people. These fellas didn't get into politics honestly, Mark. They got into politics by bamboozling.
Here's what people don't understand. Did you see the movie Trading Places?
Life is not a movie, it's a real thing.
You saw the movie Trading Places?
Yes, with Eddie Murphy. I saw that movie.
Right. A lot of these politicians who are representing their country steal from their country, not realizing they're stealing from themselves, because they look on the country as being controlled by another entity.
Yes.
So, which is a byproduct of not being fully independent. When you're independent, it's very difficult. It's very hard to comprehend stealing from yourself. because you see from your own country.
Look around. Do you see any independent countries?
I think one of the biggest issues that we need to address is, brethren, on a serious note.
Somebody's making a lot of noise in the background.
I know me.
All right. Well, mute your phone if I'm not talking to you. Mute your phone, people. Continue.
All I can say to you is that we don't live very long. Humans don't live very long. What is the obsession with these material things that make it go beyond the norm to impress people who don't give a rat's ass about you anyway? Why don't we live within our means? Why don't we as a people cast aside our materialistic aspirations and deal with people on how we're supposed to live? Live with people in peace and harmony, Rasta. Yesterday, I did a post in a brethren. I said, why is it that you would give up a friendship for another mansion or another Mercedes when you have to leave all these things behind? Brethren, if you're 50 today, you only have about 15 years of good life where you can jump out a river and do what you want to do as you can as a 50-year-old person. So you don't have very long to live. When a man lives to 80 or 90 years old, the 80 and 90 year, you can't build nothing but smile and nod. So what may I say to you?
Yeah.
We need to focus on how we live together as human beings. Living in love.
That's
living in love,
Mark,
and supporting each other in our endeavors. Because it's not
Mark. You see the sarcastic love that people share. Where hi, how are you? I don't buy that. I hate people who are the first thing to me ask me hi, how are you? Hold on, my dude. Because we are dealing with an issue right now where thieving politicians who have misled our people under the auspices that they're serving us, acting like they're God. We need to take them off their pedestal. I want to ask Wendy this question, Wendy, because the list is going on. David Archer is on that list. Do you think that David needs to be on that list, Wendy? You think David Archer needs to be on that list? Wendy! It seems like Wendy is over there. Anybody can answer it. Michelle, you said you're surprised that Julian is on the list. Do you think that David needs to be on the list too? Michelle?
Right now, I'm speechless. I'm just watching everybody and see what's happening.
Jesus, peace. This is a child of the soil of the British Virgin Islands. You have son, you have daughters.
It's surprising. So just watching everybody.
You're still in shock. You're still in shock as to how it's unfolding.
Yes, very much.
If your father was alive to see these negromancies taking, how does he feel? Because he's heartbroken. How is he? He's a man who worked hard in the tourist sector, tiled for this country to really reach where it is, and now to see his grandchildren legacy being taken away. How is he? Is he speaking? Is he saying anything to you?
No, he's not saying nothing much. No.
Jesus, peace, boy. The depression that this is going to cause on our people is priceless. These are the responsibility of leadership. When you have leaders who go inside to serve, but then become selfish and join a club that run a country and not a government. Because it's atrocious, Michael, that we have people within the fraternity that take orders from the club and not the government. Michael, you've lived in the country long enough and you've been saying that you don't want nothing from politicians. Why are you so skeptical of politicians, Michael? Why are you so skeptical? Michael! See what if I'll have to free up this line. A lot of people are there. Mark, tell you what, I'm going to call you back with my different crew because it seems like Michelle gets some rest. Wendy's out in the fields. I want to talk to Mark, but Michelle, I definitely love you and I want you to know that this is the beginning of something greater. Because we have to clean the swamp. This, as the governor said, this is a signal to all leaders around the region. As long as you swear to serve the queen and the heir to her throne, you're not more than a damn subject. You're not even a citizen. Because if Andrew Foy was a citizen, the United States could not put him in handcuff under his diplomatic immunity like that. You're nothing more than a subject, and a subject is a slave. And that's what some of our politicians who are fooling our people, running around with these loud noise about vote for me, vote for me. We're not voting for you. We're voting for a puppet, a clown, to go and work for the puppeteers who is the crown. And we need to clarify that immediately. Michelle, you say that you're watching. Mark, before I jump over the next line, anything as a future politician you want to add? Because you're learning as we speak this morning. As we take a trip, I'm going to get back to that phone call. It's a very tedious time this morning. Thank you so much. Love and share, like and care. The thing is coming in fully right now. We have another piece of information, another breaking news right here. It is what it is. The breaking news is that people are being rounded up. I'm trying to get the facts on the ground as we speak, because this is very, 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 very serious. We're also following a news out of a Kongpong town as to a kidnapping of a Mr. Miller in Jamaica by some unscrupulous element. We understand that the likes of Richard Curry may know about it, but keep it right here. We're gonna get some more information. It is the International Grand Rising Show.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
Yes, this is called the BVI Roundup, people. The BVI Roundup. The club roundup, that is. The list is in, people. The list is in. 35 people. 35 people this morning. 35 club members. I have the names right here. My God. In some kind of scampedness. And when they take your hand and they call you friend, tell them they lie.
Hey, I'm a DJ, pull that up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again.
My gosh. We understand that Julian Willock is on the run. Anybody see Julian Willock in the British Virgin Islands? Have him call us so we can confirm that he is alive and well.
Present your opening statement.
Yes, your worship.
Do you swear to tell the truth?
This is not looking good at all.
And nothing but the truth to help you, God?
I do.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Some people in Total are telling me I should get into politics.
Let me say Grand Rising to beautiful Winsome. My gosh. We have the list here, people. The list. Half of these politicians in some form of scampiness. Anybody see Sister Joyce? Tell her to call the phone line 260-209-8730. Now Sister Joyce and Andrew Foy have a criminal record that they can share. I have a criminal record to trust me for righteousness. You're too damn lie. You're too damn lie. You're too damn lie. Yo, Lily Walters, you know what? Call me now. Call me now, Lily Walters. You see my post there that it says a sad day. Yes, it's a sad day.
Counselor, please call your first witness.
I'll call Kelton Klein to the witness stand. Charges of corruption. Oh my God!
The government in the sunshine promise they looking out for we best interest.
Yes, sir.
Like the labor minister fall asleep, that department is in a mess. The one you have in Virgin Gorda, you need to get rid of she.
Oh Lord.
I hear she bank account getting fat for
Taking bribery money.
When they tell you that they will rearrange.
My God, tell them they lie.
Equal rights for all, boy, they telling tales.
Tell them they lie.
When they say they don't stand for corruption, watch them right in the eye. All of them is the same damn thing. They too damn lie.
You too damn lie.
Selling out for money.
You too damn lie.
Forget about their country.
You too damn lie. You too damn lie. Let me say good morning to Franklin Waters. Franklin Walters over there, my God. All the club members, please turn yourself in. Turn yourself in, please.
I want to remind the officers that you are still under oath.
You're still under oath.
The police department like you don't see. They way out of hand.
My God.
Criminals and drug dealers in police uniform.
My God, hold on. I am getting a bit of breaking news. What you said a while ago? What did you say a while ago? Can you confirm that with me? I'm asking my news desk to confirm because there is a lot of speculation. While they're confirming, I have a letter here from the drug dealer, the presumed drug dealer premier of the British Virgin Islands pertaining to how of a person. He said, I have known Gadites for about 10 years. I have always found him to be an intelligent and respectable gentleman. Gadite has a great personality and has the motivation that is necessary to advance personally and professionally. And this is coming from Andrew A. Foy. We also have the letter that we're looking into where Andrew has sent out from his jail cell. The letter is very, very, very unique. I will read excerpts of this letter here this morning. And it's quite suspicious, if I may use a better word like that. It is quite suspicious that the Virgin Islands party have thrown Andrew A. Foy under the bus. In less than 48 hours, Suwande Uhuru, Natalia, not a leader Wheatley, Natalia, not a leader Wheatley, Natalia, not Natalio, not a leader Wheatley, can never be a leader, wasn't born to be a leader, have no backbone as a leader, has thrown Andrew Foy under the bus. This cannibalism of these politicians is atrocious. If they say that their leader is not guilty, they have not come out and separate themselves from the gentleman. They have gone into private meeting to have the gentleman removed as the premier. As a matter, they say they want Andrew to resign so they can get back to business as usual. But I have a letter here. It says, Gadites, unfortunately, I have minimal access to media here in my detention cell. With only access to media website and court website for a short period of time. Gadites, this is my message to the people of the territory of the British Virgin Islands. Please post and read it aloud. I will not post it on my thing because I don't want the feds to feel like I am a little dibby. I am a sovereign. I am not a servant of the crown. It says, Gadites, my people, the Virgin Islands, I was framed by our colonizers. Yes. And with the help of the United States, to oust myself from office, embarrass the Virgin Islands party, but most importantly, bring doubt and shame to the people of the British Virgin Islands. It goes on to say, do not be fooled by this. The God of the universe allows no weapon to prosper against the righteous And I know that I will prevail. I will not submit my resignation. Now, this is from the incarcerated premier who is actually behind bars this morning. He said that I will not submit my resignation. And have you heard, I'm going to play the tape where the cannibalization of our people through politicians is atrocious. So one day Uhuru Natalia, not a leader, get up and say that he was unanimously voted in as a premier. This sort of cannibalism has to stop. This is the buffoonery of politics for our people. It has become nothing but a show, a stage for clowns to come out and pretend to be leaders. Let me continue. It says, I will not submit resignation to His Excellency the Governor. And upon my expected release on the bail condition this Wednesday, which is tomorrow, I will resume my role as premier of our beautiful island. Now it is time to unite and rally against the Britain. I think Andrew may be suffering from a cute diagnosis of amnesia. It was less than 10 years ago we marched on the Governor House. Andrew Foy was there in person when our people was marching. Bishop John Klein was there when our people was marching. Patsy Lake was there when we were marching. Ronnie Skelton was there when we were marching. All of these club elites was there when we were marching. We were asking for transparency within a government because the NDP and its club affiliation was disgusting. It was distasteful. It was humiliating to see people get power and let it fly to them head. The likes of Myron V. Walwyn, which was a shining star for people, succumb to the power hungriness of the club. And here you have the premier, while incarceration, telling our people that we must march against Britain. How can we march against Britain when the said immorality of the British is what you have adopted? The said nasty treatment of our people by the British is what you have held and hold on to prove that you are much better than our people. It continued here. Andrew Foy, the incarcerated prisoner, said, which I intend to lead. Now this is the buffoonery of leadership. You are under scrutinization and you are still so power hungry, even though you're incarcerated, about coming out and leading a march against Britain. When you said you wanted transparency, you encouraged the governor to hold the leaders them accountable because they were doing things that were not accountable for. And now, Andrew A. Foy, you want to be let out of incarceration to come and lead our people in the British Virgin Islands. If this is not the height of buffoonery, I don't know what is. My mother sent me to school to learn, and I went to school and I learned fairly well the little that I learned. And I learned that if you are not skillful in this thing called life, these are the situations that will occur. And as Wendy rightfully says, the higher the monkey go is the more it get exposed. Premier, he's not a premier right now. Andrew Foy, you have let down your people in the worst way. And it's not the drugs that we're talking about that you were caught with. We're talking about how you got the opportunity after 2017 to make the British Virgin Islands a place where all of our brothers and sisters could be proud to say, yes, it's not a birth home, but these people over here, they are God-given people. Andrew Foy, you have discredited the ancestors. You have ripped off our people when it comes on to offering them status in the British Virgin Islands. You couldn't do it, but you charged them $1,700, Andrew Foy and the Virgin Islands Party. Promissory notes. People is living in that territory for over 20 years. And you and your elite government mash up these children are suffering because of the Virgin Islands party. The politicians in the British Virgin Islands have used a Royal Highness, the Crown, opportunities to hurt their very own people. The immigration department is a useless slave master mechanism that kill our people, because you be working in the country for years and the immigration bring up an issue so that they take you out the country, root you up, your children out of school, everybody, and you have to go like you don't come from nowhere, like a lappy dog. This morning, it is quite evident from your detention cell, Andrew Foy, you're crying for mercy. But from 2017, I have handed in a purchase order signed by Eustace Freeman, a.k.a. Boss from the Showtime band, who came to the station, get me to promote the festival, not for the Virgin Islands party, not for the NDB party, but for the government of the Virgin Islands. And you, Andrew Foy, and your friends sit down, Julian Willock, all of these people sit down, Ayana Hall, Kareem Nelson Hall, all of these people sit down and skin up them face. So Gadites trying to rip off the country. Gadites is trying to rip off the country when I'm not asking any politician for no favors. I didn't ask none of you politicians to pay me. I asked the government of the British Virgin Islands to honor a purchase order that was signed by so-called 8-time Road March champion Eustace Freeman, a.k.a. Boss, who had the audacity to go down by the governors. Or the governor should lock up all of you. Because you know what? You're all a bunch of liars. You've watched the country sink. But because you were getting your own little spoils and benefit, you didn't turn a blind eye. Let me read this letter from the Premier, from Andrew, who is incarcerated this morning. He said that he's coming back to lead a march against Britain. And how much, please do not allow this minor British-led entrapment to divert our eyes and mind from the true issue at heart, right and determination to set our own destiny as people. He go on to say, you shall hear from me live Wednesday after my release. Expect to be briefed on our way forward. Thank you for trusting in my leadership and continue to ask the Lord to bless the British Virgin Islands. These are coming from the so-called incarcerated criminal Andrew A. Foy. And he's not a criminal because of the DEA saying that he's a criminal. He's a criminal because of how he treats his people, of how he treats his fellow Caribbean people. And I saw OECS get up yesterday talking about they don't support what Britain doing to the Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands have to stand up for themselves. We're asking the people this morning in that country, that territory. We have a list here. 35 people in the British Virgin Islands have been making our life a living hell. And we have the name this morning. We're going to publicize it and let our people know the Oreo cookies and the coconuts that are living among our people. Play the tune again.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This honorable court is now in session. Please rise. Honorable judge presiding. Will the prosecution please present your opening statement?
Yes, your worship.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Some people in Tortola telling me I should get into politics. You ain't afraid to sing about corruption while others biting their lip. You better get that idea right out your mind, cause I can't handle that stress. Half of them politicians in some kind of scampishness. When they shake your hand and they call you friend, tell them they lie. For your best interest they say they looking. Tell them they lie.
Somebody hush the baby, no, hush the baby, please.
Your worship, we call the government to the stand on charges of...
Is that Andrew crying in the background? Hold on.
The government in the sunshine promise they looking out for we best interest.
Yes.
Labor minister fall asleep, that department is in a mess. The one you have in Virgin Gorda, you need to get rid of she.
My God!
I hear she bank account getting fat for taking bribery money. When they tell you that they will rearrange,
Tell them they lie.
equal rights for all, boy, they telling tales.
Tell them they lie.
When they say they don't stand for corruption, watch them right in the eye. All of them is the same damn thing, they too damn lie.
You too damn lie.
Selling out for money.
You too damn lie.
Forget about their country.
You too damn lie. You too damn lie.
Counselor.
I wonder, hold on. DJ, hold the rhythm, please. I think we may.
Police department to the...
Yes, we want to hear from the police department, but let's hear from the concerned brothers and sisters. Sister Ayata, Grand Rising, how you doing?
Grand Rising, how are you? I'm doing okay. I wanted to say something about you talking. Let me listen.
What was that? What was that, Mama?
You online, what I wanted to talk about is the thing them that I send you. If you don't use them, I want them delete.
I'm not on that capacity. I'm doing my live show now, Mummy. You know my show is 10 till 2 every day.
I don't want to talk about that now. When you're in private, that's
when I'm finished. But
how you doing?
Seeing that I have a list here, Sister Sharon. Some names are coming up on this list here because the DEA and MI16 is in the British Virgin Island rounding up some people. Have you seen or hear anything about Julian Willock? We are hearing that Mr. Hickenbottom want Julian Willock. You're hearing anything like that?
I heard nothing yet. I ain't seen nothing yet. I just know that people are saying they need to resign, you know. They need to resign. And I understand when they was in the house with the meeting, they went on like they were shouting and very disrespectful, you know. Yeah, so you know, we hope things go well. You know what I say? They don't want to resign. They're causing problem in the community for us. That's what I know.
Yeah, the people are calling on these. I have a list here with 35 names on it. 35 names. And these 35 names has been trying to meet with the governor to say that they are competent of leading the country. As a indigenous person, any WhatsApp reach you with these 35 names asking for your blessings to lead the country?
Not yet, and I don't think I'm going to sign those kind of papers because, you know, things ain't straightened out. Now, who the heck is these people? I ain't got no name.
Wow. So, but talking about signing paper, yesterday you did went ahead and sign a petition, and we're understanding that petition came from some of these 35 people who is mentioned on this list. Sharon, have you been scammed because the governor is looking at all these signatures saying that you may be affiliated with the drug gang, you know?
I'm not affiliated with them, I don't have. The person who sent me that was my cousin.
Oh,
you know, and we're only responsible for that.
Yes.
You know, because for a person, he, at one time, he was in the system doing that, so he should have never sent me that paper because, well,
he should have never sent you that paper, huh?
And he's a corporate too, and he shouldn't send me with no explanation. And then after I done it, they're telling me thanks, and I have the thing there right on my thing, responding, you know what he said.
Hold on, the plot thickens, people. The plot thickens. If you're listening to us, yesterday we broadcast the march on the governor's house. Now, people, we've been saying that the march on the governor's house is nothing but a facade. It's a lie. It's a bunch of people who have been accused by the crown of overstepping their position, and they have rallied their church people. Cause you know the bishop has a big church down Free Bottom. They have rallied people also from their working organization to put up a front to the governor, said they are a bit disgruntled. We're understanding yesterday Sharon got a petition to sign. I also got that petition because they're asking people to sign this petition to give to the governor, to give to Britain, that the people are okay with these cronies who have robbed.
What?
You're breaking.
Show me.
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing
is
you.
what I read, and what I read is true. Broke behind it.
So here goes.
You know, go ahead.
Here goes another fraud, because this list now has landed on the governor's desk, and the governor is seeing this petition as a genuine document. But it's my understanding from our caller and several people is that these are the said people who are being called criminal by the crown, who have put forward this sort of petition. When will it stop? When will it stop, Sharon, where the secret forces behind the politicians trying to rule our destiny? Because this is obvious that there's a secret society, 35 members within the community, who is trying to derail the progress of our people by putting themselves up for leadership. But they're not there to lead the country, they're there to lead the club and its agenda. Sharon, you have grandchildren in the BVI, you have friends in the BVI. Sharon, family. What you have just called for resignation from all of these accused, right?
Yeah, they need to resign, and we don't need no club. The club needs to burn to ashes. You know, that means get rid of them. You know, put them where they belong and show where the key. I have no feeling and sympathy for criminals like them, the worst than, you know, because they're the one who have everything going on, even when the little ones them. You know, so they need to be burned out of the system there. They need to, even though, just cancel these people. They shouldn't even look at the paper. And we knew it a new set of people that we, the people living there, can depend on or trust. These people every
hold on,
repent.
Sharon, hold on. People were being joined from all people of walks of life. I have a brother, Sharon, who has been chastised, who have been told to leave, who have been said that you ain't from here, who have been told that, daddy, listen me, you ain't from here, don't say crap in our business. Good morning, Ambassador Terrence. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm okay.
Grand right. Sound like you're on the work. You're on the work?
Yeah, they're on the work, but I can talk to me.
No, first, before we have Sister Ayata from the British Virgin Islands, she's also she ran away to the motherland, Africa, while you stayed there on the front line to fight. Terrence, bring us up to scratch. I hear you've been sending some sentiments. I'll allow you to talk to your people, because you're not just a Vincentian. You've become an ambassador, global ambassador for people. Say what you want to say before we get into it, Terrence.
Yeah, well, I have to just first and foremost give thanks and praise unto the Most High, you know what I mean? And blessings to reach out. Yeah. But you know what I mean? What I want to say, right? The territory that I resort in the British Virgin Islands is under a black cloud right about now. But my whole point about this right now, big and serious, you know, everybody has their own views and opinion, is I don't want the British to take over the territory. I don't want that. That is not in the best interest of me and the people of the British Virgin Islands. We may have our differences. I have personal differences with grievance with people here, but I will take that up with them on my own time. I cannot make that blind me to the bigger picture. You understand? And that is what I'm not going to do. I'm not prepared to do. You know what I mean? Wherever issue, like I said, I have an issue by Labor Department. I have an issue with Labor Department. I don't get it solved, but not because I get it solved. I have issues with them personal because I think there was a personal attack on me personally, but I'm not going to let that blind me to the reality of what's going on here and what is the betterment for me if I continue to reside in the British Virgin Islands. And I must say, I am disappointed in the people of the territory, especially the people who are not from here, for not going out yesterday and lend the support. Because if England take over here, which they are going to do, you understand? I can't see the turning back. The first thing they're going to do, they're going to crack down on the main source of income into this country. A lot of people would not admit the main source of income in this country, but this country do not have no natural resources, no export, all those import. You understand? Apart from tourism, over wherever class of tourism, a class of overnight tourist ship or whatever, and a couple of, offshore, whatever they have here. That cannot sustain the country. That is not what driving the country economy. And that is what this is all about. This is jealousy from the highest degree. And we cannot be blind to it. The Commissioner of Police said to us, give me a second, the Commissioner of Police said to us, sometime last year, just before I think he hung up his belt, that when you look around the British Virgin Islands, you see young men with diamond chain. I don't know if you know the people chain is diamond, but he said diamond gold chain, big cars, big boat, nice boat, and big house, and they can't declare or can't say where they get it from. So this ain't no start.
Can I? All right.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. Now, people, this is Terrence, and as I said before, he's an ambassador, global ambassador. He's always stand on the premises that we, as Maroon people, have to have that resources so we can stand. You said a few things, Terrence, that I do agree with. I do agree with. Down with the British. The British is an unscrupulous bunch of reptilians-minded people who have, over the years, used our people ignorance against them, and it is to be marked. But Terrence, you are quite familiar that we had a march on the governor a couple of years ago, right?
Yes.
And this march on the governor, it was for transparency, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Andrew Foy led that march. We also had Bishop John Klein was there. Mr. Pickering was there, wasn't he? David Archer. And all of these, it was there, right?
Yes.
We were promised transparency by Andrew Foy and the Virgin Islands Party because they run under the auspices of change. Now, how long ago has the election been?
About what? 2 3 years.
I have seen people get incarcerated in less than 24 hours. We were supposed to clean shop, Patsy Lake said that leave the sore foot. We don't need to look about that sore foot. That sore foot ain't our problem. The British taking over island is the problem. We don't want the British to take over. But after, hold on. After the cloud and the smoke clear, anybody got arrested? Anybody got arrested, Terrence?
No.
Anybody? Did any transparency?
No.
Did any transparency take place, Terrence? Terrence, are you hearing me?
Not to mine.
All right. I want to ask you two more questions because these two questions are very vital. And the British Virgin Islands pride itself on being a just community. It's a very small community. It's just 35 square miles, and everybody know everybody. Terrence, when the hurricane struck in 2017, there was some relief funds and so put on the festival village for the victims. There was pledges. Did you get any assistance, Terrence?
No, I did not get any assistance.
All right. But hold on. Do you think it was because of your last name or where you're from why you didn't get assistance, Terrence?
I honestly don't know. I never really look for any, but I don't know why.
Okay, all right. We've just been through COVID-19 where you see Andrew Foy on the festival grounds, him and them club members like Chicken Hawk say, come on, get your vaccine, because that's the only way to save the country. Did you get another COVID money, my friend?
No. No.
No. One last question. Andrew Foy went out after election, after the hurricane, and said that he was going to grant status to our Caribbean brothers and sisters for $1,700. Can you name a couple people who got that promise fulfilled?
Well, I'll tell you my understanding of that, right? Our own Dung Island, some of our own Dung Island people who granted status here before was object. They did not feel good about that. They themselves.
This is not nothing to do with. Listen to me. Andrew is put in a position to lead, to govern. This is why. Hold on. This is why I guys have not been paid my money, because when you have the likes of Kareem Hull can go to Andrew and tell him, say, don't pay that bill, and Andrew listen it. When you have people in our society who can go to the ministers them and say, I don't like Terence, make sure same farming like Labour Department get hold up, make sure him have to pay time for stay here. These sabotage that these culprits have been doing, that is what the people, maroon people, is not supporting. And the march yesterday, we march with the BVI people them against Britain. The BVI people them have to put out the criminal them, start clean, and treat the people them with respect. We don't have anything against the people of the British Virgin Islands, but their record have spoken for themselves. The selfishness, the covetousness, the bad mind that rampant in that place is why the governor at this time is in charge, because the governor look how they treat their very own people. So now the UK people coming in to take your job from the Caribbean. Don't blame the British. Blame the criminal minds.
Okay. While I agree with you with some of the things you say, I must disagree with some, because in my view, what is the rule, in your opinion and the experience and knowledge that you have living in this territory, what is the role of a Governor General?
The role of the Governor General is an overseer. Now, an overseer is not your friend, but Andrew and the elite has kissed the ass of the governor.
I want to go there. I want to answer what is the role of a governor.
The governor is the emissary. He's the emissary. He is the emissary. He works on behalf of the crown.
And he is to oversee the territory, ain't it?
His job, because
the territory.
Hold on. His job is to oversee good governance.
Right. Okay, let me stay right there. So here now, over a 20 years period, because that way this thing about all the investing where they have they based on about 20 years. They date back to 20 years. Right?
Yes.
In that 20 years, we have 5 governors. So let me speak about the 4 past, because the next one is in power right now.
Yes.
Then they are fairly people. Because if their job is to oversee the affair, make sure good governance, make sure no corruption, no fraud, and it takes 5 governors to recognize the problem. Then the governor before should be held accountable.
But hold on, Terence. Terence, if they say, if the Bible said thou shalt not kill, and you take it upon yourself and go kill, you're going to blame somebody for you killing someone?
I am not going to blame someone, but I'm saying...
Well, this is what... Hold on. This is what the carelessness of these lazy bastards who call themselves leader doing at this present time. Have the audacity, now that they're in the predicament and putting the country's legacy at risk, saying it to blame the governor. The governor was there all the time. You know... to treat your people right is not in the best favor of the governor. But do it. But you didn't do that. You try to impress the governor with your barbaric approach by letting permits. People who have worked in the BVI for decades cannot get any money, but Ronnie Skelton and his friend them can go drain the social security, take it out and share it among them daughters and them sons and send them overseas so they can live big. You don't have the audacity for when the hurricanes strike, instead of you looking at the so-called robust economy that you have and assist the 150 nationals who call their home. You send them home. You send them to Guyana. You send them to Trinidad. You send them to St. Vincent, and then tell us that we bad mind you for what you have. So tell me, tell me, said the governor who sits in that office wasn't looking. The governor was.
If that is the case, the governor. Okay.
Yes.
If that is the case, Gareth, the governor still have to take some responsibility.
The governor can't stop you from killing your people. The governor can't stop you from killing your people.
No, Gareth.
Yes.
If the governor, the minister, Mr. Foyer, whoever, collect money on behalf of the people to share to the people, he's supposed to sit with that the people get it. And if he ain't sit with enough people,
you see, no, Terrence.
To hold Mr. Floyd accountable.
But Terrence,
any political leader.
Yeah, but Terrence, this is the carelessness of our people, you know. Where the slave master is there, and you're expecting the slave master to have your best interests. The reason why the reason why the British Virgin Islands and several regions swear to serve the Queen and the heir to her throne is because it's of the understanding that this woman is in charge. Now, what has happened over the years is that the politicians, the Queen, the Crown has turned a blind eye to the suffering of our people. So these crooked politicians now, they chastise us, they beat us, they rob us, they kill us. And the Queen would turn a blind eye. But what they don't understand is that chastising your people is one. Chastising the Queen is another. Because let me tell you something. You know the reason why Andrew Foy is incarcerated right now? 2 weeks ago, Andrew Foy and his friends them went up to the UK and they signed off on the papers of criminality. You know what the criminality was, Terrence? It was the Commission of Inquiry finding all of Her Majesty's servants guilty of breaking the registrar. Now, when you break the registrar, that simply means that the Queen have a charge against you. You're not a sovereign person. The British Virgin Islands are not sovereign people. They all have documents that name British Virgin Islands. They're all a bunch of slaves. They're not even citizens to the Crown. They're subjects. And when you're a subject of the Crown do what it sees fit to do with you. But the politicians have been playing boss. Like Eustace Freeman, like say, yeah, I find, hey daddy, you know my last name be? The reality on the ground right now is that the governor is in charge for 2 years. Who are you? Where are you from?
Well, that is not, the governor is fully in charge as yet.
The governor is in charge. Hey. Stop fooling. Listen to me.
No, me ain't fooling now. Listen. I know.
Okay.
I know they're not going to turn back because this is a whole plot. It's a plot. And Andrew gave them what they was looking for. Unfortunately, it's a whole plot to bring down the system. So Andrew, listen me now. Andrew and everybody in the British Virgin Islands know that even Stevie Wonder the blind could see that there was a plan. When the governor left Turks and Caicos and came to the British Virgin Islands, he came there with an agenda. I said to Mark Vanterpool, Mark, you need to stop this ragga rum drinking and have a serious conversation with the British Crown. Mark and everybody, Meade, Malone, Pickering, tell me, say, Gadites, you people from Dung Island, you grudge we for the level we have for our Queen Mother. You know that. This was out of ignorancy. Because never in a million years can your adopted mother love you like your true mother. Our true mother is not the Queen of England. These are a bunch of capturers. The Queen have stolen goods, and none of these politicians who say they are of merit will never tell the Queen to give back the stolen goods, the captured land that she is occupying with different corporation names this morning.
is a evidence of her conquest and capturing of our people, but nobody wants to have that real conversation. Only time we want to have this conversation is when time the crown put their feet on our neck. It is embarrassing.
Okay.
It's embarrassing, Terence. You can,
okay.
Yeah,
yes, it's embarrassing, and I'm going to say this.
Yes,
this is
sir.
my position.
Yes, sir.
Now, I have my own grievances. I understand how the people are happy. I have went to certain things. What I'm not going to do, though, I'm not going to support no British rule, and I'm going to take up my personal vendetta with the people here and my own time. Now, to me, now is not the time for that.
When is the time, Terence? When is the time to hold? When is the time to hold our people accountable? When it will be the right time?
No, what I'm saying, when I say now is not the time, it's never the right time, you know. It's never the right time. We're fully aware of that.
Yes.
What I mean, the situation at hand is much bigger because I am looking at the bigger picture. Now I know what keeps driving this economy here and what keeping me here.
Yes.
And if we lose that, if we lose, and that is what the first thing they will take away. If we lose that, then we will not no need to be a
You lose it already. You lose it already.
Well,
you lose it. Listen me. If the British Virgin Islands were so serious about making that change and saving their ass, right? 2017 when the hurricane hit the island, Terence, you are there. Everybody lost every materialistic thing. So even if they don't take away the financial sector, we will bounce back. But we have to bounce back righteously. The nastiness in the British Virgin Islands, upper elites in that country, is that they figure more or less that they were accountable to not even God himself. The hurricane lick us down, Terence, kill, mash up everything. We could have died and God spare us. And these jackass didn't use that as a red line to say, listen me, something wrong, you know. Something drastically wrong. Now we have a man-made Hurricane Irma and Maria from the British Crown. We act like so we're afraid of British more, we're afraid than God. If a hurricane no make you change your dirty life, Terence, you think the UK are going to have you change? You fear no. You fear man more than or you fear God, Terence. That you tell me.
I will fear man more than the creator.
Then
I'm not afraid man more than the creator.
No.
But my thing is,
yes.
I'm not afraid man more than the creator. But my thing is,
yes.
Listen, there is no perfect island governance in this.
This is not about perfect government. This is not about perfect government.
Again, you from Jamaica. I'm St. Vincent, right?
Yes, sir.
And we know the level of corruption going on in this country.
And
you know what I mean? So there is even England, big corruption going on.
Terence.
So listen, listen my point. Listen my point. Now I'm saying I'm not condoning and I'm not in support of nobody doing what they're doing. Or half of the things that they do, it was not needed. They will take the money we're talking about over the years.
Yeah.
I never study it because if I don't study it, it can't bother me. You know what I mean? That is why I never focus on it. It come, I never see it, I never get it. Fine, I still live in. I still have life. You know what I mean? And that's how I just choose to live my life.
Terence. You're a man who me listen to on your feeds, and I think out of everything you're asking for equal rights and justice. You're asking us to level the play field, but when it comes to leveling the play field in the place that you call home, and I know that people are very scared because this is one reason why I am in the US right now, because the so-called powers that be in the BVI saw it fit to kick me out and put a bar to say, hey, Godites is the enemy, not the UK. Godites is the culprit, not the UK. They have been character assassinating our people for eons in these overseas territory because they figure more or less the worse they treat the Vincentian, the more the British will like them. The worse they treat the Jamaican, the more the British will like them. These ass kissers that have been kissing the crown ass to get spoils and benefit, they have to come real with our people. It is not the people of the British Virgin Islands that is the culprit. It is a cult. It is a bunch of people who are Freemason like Julian Willock, who are very much a cult among our people, who put cult before country. These people do not represent our people. These people are common criminals, and the crown is calling them out for who they are. But as long as we have people in our community protecting these criminals, all of us are going to be chastised, and that's what you need to understand. All of us are going to be chastised.
While I understand that, the problem we have with our people also.
Yes.
They're not taking a stand. The majority of the people are not standing up.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No. Even when you call a march, okay, you call up on the radio calling march, several people calling march, and they're not coming out.
It's not that they don't come out. It's not that they don't come out, Terrence. Terrence. When you have people like Patsy Lake, who own half of Wickhamski, God bless Noel Lloyd, him dead and him not get where him deserve. When you have people like Patsy Lake who own Western Union, where charge people 7% on their money to send back, who are going to come out and support Patsy Lake? Me look like idiot.
Well,
me look like idiot.
All right, I never tell you. Never tell you to go. I'm saying.
But these are the people, these are the people who are fronting the march. Bishop Klein lead a church, and when Bishop Klein, the hurricane money coming instead of Bishop Klein, and to see that everybody who suffer the earth gets some of the hurricane relief money, what him do? Him go sit down with Clark Clinton's Klein and decide who have last name and who come from where. These culprit can't, I wouldn't encourage not even the ants to go and march with these people.
I am saying when you yourself was here and you organize march, and other people, other activists, other people, even so under, who check us. When they used to organize march,
Natalia is not a leader. Natalia Wheatley is not a leader. Can't trick me. Go with that.
When they used to organize march, the people don't come out. Our people do not stand up enough. They don't come out. They don't speak out. They need to be more vocal.
Hold on. You are aware. You know why the governor is getting so much love? Because 99.999% work for the government. And the last person, Cindy Rosen, who work under the tourist board, was Ross Skelton, Ronnie Skelton's son, Ron. Get up and criticize Andrew Freeman's scrupulous, double-sided approach towards governance. You know what them do to look at Cindy? Cindy lose her work. Cindy reputation get tarnished. Cindy was called ungrateful. And this is their very own, you know. We have a birth paper for the corporation where them are serving. You know. These jackals, listen me. If you want to make a change in the BVI, Terrence, I urge you and the rest of people. I have a list here with 35 people, names. I'm going to send it out and I'm going to send it to you. These 35 people need to be arrested and they need to be put forward so we can move forward with the progress of our territory. Because I love the British Virgin Islands. Yes.
You can remove, no disrespect to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I fully agree.
Yeah.
Some of the people need to go, but I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
The system that governs the people, it's a corrupt system. And if the system is not removed, then it will always have corruption and high level of it. It is as simple as that.
We are not in disagreement with that. The system must be dismantled. But for right now, the crown is using the audacity of good governance to come and rip up a so-called constitution that they themselves write and give to our leaders. This is a new day for our people, you know. Our people have been given the opportunity to charter their own destiny. But because of these fear-mongering jackasses who drive fear into our people, a lot of our people are still hesitant to step over this red line. Listen me, the crown don't have a problem with the people, because the people is the government. But the people who have been elected and selected on behalf of the people, who have used the power and authority that we have given to them to serve the club over the country, we want those people to be removed immediately. They need to be removed immediately. Yes.
I don't have a problem with that, but the people, the same people who you're saying is the government, are totally back. They're not expressing themselves now. They're not using social media, whatever media house, or however they choose. They're not doing anything.
Trust me.
So this is why the people continue, this is why the people continue to get away and do what they're doing, because nobody holding them accountable. Everybody just shushing behind doors. It cannot work. You have to be vocal. You have to come out and put yourself on the line. Whether you get fired, whether you lose your job, whether they send you off of here, take a stand. And this is our people's problem. They want someone to do the job for them. And they don't want to do anything, but they want to reap the benefit. You cannot reap what you don't sow. And that is the mentality of our people. And unless we get rid of that mentality, we're not getting any. We're going around so close. You can put who there. It's not going to solve anything, because our people are too laid back and too relaxed.
Well,
you know what I mean? And all they want,
I'm just saying, we're joined. I'll let you finish, because we're joined by PSI Radio, and I know we want to ask him some crucial question. But you want to finish up, Terence?
Yes. I am saying to the people, as you say, the people is the government, I'm fully aware of that. And that is why I'll be so vocal. Because I know my power, I know my strength. The people on the ground, the ordinary man and woman, let me leave the politician out of it. Let me talk about the government. As you say, the people is the government. Why the people could jump up and go in a polling station and elect people, vote people into office? Now you're turning around, you have a problem with those same people. You have a governor here where you could go to, you could turn to help you. If you feel you can do it, why you not using that power? Why you not using that? Why you not coming out of your own? Not with no leader, the same people them who infiltrating you. You and the people just decide, hey, I'm going to take a stand. Go out there, put your line on put your life on the line.
All right,
for what you believe in and what you want.
Point well taken. We're talking with Terence right now, the British Virgin Islands in the red zone. This morning we're doing the BVI Club Roundup. We have a list of 35 people here that has been making choices for the government. And not all of these people on the list are elected officials. Some of these people are common people on the road, but they're big in the Illuminati Club, in the club at Thursday night that meet behind Right Way. They are Grand Mason. They're Masons and Freemasons whose name has popped up. Kenny Gladstone, PSI Radio, join us with us. Kenny, before we go on, I want to say Grand Rising, but right now, we do have a list where the governor is saying over the coming days, more arrests are expected as more of the enablers, they're calling them enablers and facilitators, is on the list with the premier. Some of these people are government officials, law enforcement officers, business people, lawyers, attorneys, bankers, and party supporters. I have a list here. Julian Willock has also been MIA, for a better word. We're not our list. Our people on the road is calling his number, but it's going to answer machine. PSI Radio Grand Rising, how are you doing this morning?
My brother, I'm quite speechless actually.
Why are you speechless? Mute your phone, Terence. Mute your phone if you're not talking. You and sister Ayata, just mute your phone. Continue, Ken.
As of today, sir, I have little or nothing to say because I listened to a BVI lander this morning.
Yes.
Who went on public media.
Yes.
And laid it out inch by inch for the whole 9 yards, and I am absolutely 100% totally embarrassed. I can't see anything could get as nasty as this has gotten. I can't see any evil unfolding in the way that this is unfolding. And you haven't seen the half yet, brother. I tell you, this hasn't started yet.
When you say this isn't started yet, we also understand that the Royal Virgin Islands Police is making its round of pickup. We understand 2 custom officers have been incarcerated from last night. Can you confirm? I don't want to call their name, but their name is on the list here. What are you hearing on the ground?
Anything is possible at this point, sir. And I tell you, it hasn't started yet. And that's exactly what I said. You will be hearing a lot more incarcerations happening. You will be seeing a lot more people thrown in jail. It is It's happening as we speak. Wow. And it will get a lot nastier. A lot nastier.
We are doing the unfolding with this 35 names that is coming up. We're seeing where private sectors people are also involved. You have been one of the voices who have been saying that. Yes, Sister Ayata, you want to say something?
I just had to laugh. I was on mute, but I had to put it back on because I love it. I love it. I saw all of them. No, every single one. Hey, I give thanks to Father God Almighty because I pray for the nation. They will be exposed and justice will be served by the Almighty, the unseen. He's watching them. As evil as they is, He can straighten everything. You had in your heart of greed and covetousness. Oh well, so be it. I feel nothing for these people. Yes, I can forgive them, but I feel nothing for them. They feel nothing for the country and the people in it.
Wow. Hold on, Sister Ayata. Terrence was just saying, Kenny, that we need to march along with our brothers again, and after we beat the British, we could hold them accountable. But for the last couple of years after the first march, nobody went to prison, nobody lost their job, nobody was compensated for the wrongs that was done. Are you in agreement with what Terrence is saying, Kenny?
March along with what?
Marching with the likes of our brothers and sisters who have been accused by the crown.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold
on. Terrence want to say something. What you want to say, Terrence?
Let me say clear again.
Yeah.
I did not know who organized the march until today. My whole point of saying march, I did not say who you should march with, because you know what I mean? People who have different views with anybody.
Yes.
My point, I was saying the people of the territory should have take a stand. Whether who lead and who this, I don't concern about that. The people, the majority of the people should have, if they don't do it yesterday, they should do it today, or for the one tomorrow. They need to take a stand to stop what England is about to do. That is my
brother. Let me say this to you, because it is abundantly clear at this point, and that is why I'm so embarrassed, because if BV Islander can come to social media and spill this categorically. The 9 yards of crap, corruption and everything else that has been happening in this territory over all these years. I don't have nothing to say, boss. I don't. I know we have a few. Hold on. I know we have a few, and I say a few, or a sect of decent people in this territory. And yes, I personally lift my hat to them. And I said since last night on the program, I'm saying it again. I lift my hat to the decent people in this territory. But for the crap which this local living here all their life came on social media and exposed, after hearing that, I have little or nothing to say. Nothing at all.
Well, if you're talking referring to the lady, I won't call her name, but if you're referring to the lady who was on a popular radio station, I was actually disappointed in her also, and I call and made that clear too. You know what I mean?
Wow. Terrence, why are you disappointed that you just asked a while ago for the people to stand up, and now that you're standing up, you're saying that they need to stand up in a silence to the corruption that our brothers and sisters doing, but against the crown? That's what you're saying.
Again, I am saying in the interest of the people, because we're about to lose, we will lose a lot.
Yes.
We think we will gain, but we will lose. And I know why I'm saying I will lose. I just point out why. And I will point out why before the end of the program. But let me tell you why I'm disappointed in that individual.
Yeah.
First of all, the portfolio she hold, she's supposed to have more knowledge. She come and admit fraud to me. She admit fraud on the radio. You understand? Because you are saying you go and cry a letter to our governor saying that the people, you get the permission from the people, yet the people was not aware of your club meeting, as you just put it.
Yes.
You understand? So you go and represent the people and knowing to them.
No, but
you go on to the governor and knowing to them. That's not that is fraud.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But this is what I've been saying from a long time, that the government of the British Virgin Islands is different from the Freemason Club. The club of the Freemason is where Ronnie Skelton, Mark Vanterpool, Ayanna Hall, Kareem Nelson, Myron V. Walwyn, Julian Willock, you name all of them, Sheep, Neville Smith, they're all a part of the club. And what has happened over the years is that the club now has made decision that the government follow, because all of these government officials and people are a member of the club. So when you see Andrew Foy out there as the premier of the Virgin Islands, within the club, he's no longer than he's just a servant boy. You have Dr. Pickering, who can order him around in the club. You have people like Ronnie Skelton, the Grand Mason, whose son, who runs the tourist board as a Grand Master for the Freemason, can use his power. So this is what we're breaking down now. And the governor have seen, because the governor is also a part of the club, you know. But what is happening is that the club is exposing the crown too much. So the governor have to come in and play Captain Save a Ho. What we are doing now is actually exposing the whole apparatus, the governor, our brothers and sisters, the whole thing. We're kicking over this nasty bucket because our people are fed up of it, Terence. That's what's happening. So when you hear the likes of Miss Hull come on this morning and try to put a fearmonger spin to our people, say we're gonna lose everything, we have to do this, that is just because their ass have been exposed, and they're trying to stand beside people like you and Kenny down there to say we're all one. But when the financial money was being robbed, when the hurricane relief money was being robbed, when the COVID money was being robbed,
this is my problem, my brother.
Yes.
This is exactly my problem. I am saying this now because it is absolutely abundantly clear that if BVI landers and belongers are now saying, when it was all good, you didn't know anybody, people stand up with their hands stretched out, not getting a penny, and now that everybody's falling in the pit and the sewer is turning on and sucking everybody out, everybody holding up hand, calling, bawling, oh, help, help.
Save
when
me.
The people who should have been there from the beginning to stand with these people here were kicked in the ass and shoved aside. Who is going to help them now? That is the question. Very good point in it.
I listen to me. Our people are not blind to this, you know, and I must say that even I myself at times, when the wicked, because Andrew has done me the Virgin Islands party, not the people of the Virgin Islands. They have ignored our call for ages. And it's quite surprising to see my phone ringing, telling me, Gadites, don't call my name with these people. Gadites, I don't want you to put up my picture with these people. But just a couple months ago, you and these people were bosom buddies. These were your boys. This my boy. But now your boy, show him true colors. People don't want to hear about it. It's atrocious. And Terence, I want to thank you so much for your input. I want to hold Kenny on the line because there's a few things on this list that I have to call out. Kenny, Terence, you in particular.
But before you go, guys, before I go,
Yes,
Kenny is a very, wisdom every man like yourself, you know what I mean?
Yes.
What would the both of you, what would you like to see? And if you can do something, what would you do? I mean, I know I hear you all express your
Kenny, you want to go first?
But at this point in time,
yes.
At this point in time, because now we have to find solutions.
We have the solution.
We have to be on the same page. We cannot look like a bunch of crab in a hole.
We are all on.
No.
We are all on the said page. Kenny, if you want to answer him first, you can go. I will answer him because you're all guests for me. Sister Ayata, you're buzzing the line as if you want to say something to what Terence said.
I just here listening because I know justice will be served. As for the British coming in there I hope my people do the right thing and get together, and those with these hypocrites. That's it.
All
they
right.
need to deal with this. Wake up, people, wake up. Stop sleeping in your own slumber, and start thinking about, togetherness,
Yes.
oneness. Put the heart back together. Let the Lord go there and chase away the devil out of the heart of mankind.
All right. My solution, Terence, you asked what is the solution to all of this. My solution is, Terence, that first and foremost, the Crown has made a very good chess move. The real reason why there's two reasons why the Crown is out to capture the British Virgin Islands. One reason is the Crown realized that the financial business has been very lucrative. There's 30 billion Russian dollar floating in that territory right now as we speak. That's what the House of Lords has said. And secondly, there is a plan on the table to build a British base within that territory. A lot of us don't want to talk about it, but these are the reality. The location, the British Virgin Islands have two things going for them: finance and location. We are in this predicament because the Crown has seen how gluttonous and greedy some of our brothers and sisters are when it comes on to governance. So they have trapped them within these portfolio. I would advise our people and the leaders, Julian Willock, I would advise Mark Vanterpool, I advise Dr. Pickering, all of these 13 individuals, there's 12 now because Andrew is incarcerated. Hand yourself in to the Crown judicial system, because this is the only thing that is going to embarrass the Crown. We have to show the Crown that we are more civilized than them. We can handle our own problem. And this is what the Crown was the Crown was banking that after election we would be sensible to say, all right then, election, we're going to have this council where we find out for ourselves. The Commission of Inquiry was invited to the British Virgin Islands by the Honourable Dancia Penn. And Dancia Penn penned it in the likes that corruption is rampant in her country and she cannot deal with it. After we put these 12 individuals up to the Crown to deal with them as far as their individual merits, then we start to have dialogue with the Crown as to do we stay to be chastised or do we move forward to govern our own destiny. That is the solution at this time. Just like how the solution after the hurricane was for the British Virgin Islands to come off of their pumps and primes and see that we need each other, but they didn't see it fit. These said 12 individuals who have put the country in this predicament, put a cloak over our eyes and tell us that, listen, it's business as usual. And this is why we're at this predicament. Greed, mismanagement, and of course, victimization of our people. The governor and the Crown, they observe how we treat each other. And then they use that as a measuring stick to treat all of us. When will we wake up? Kenny, I don't know if your solution is better than mine, but our dear friend Terence is waiting.
Terence is there?
Kenny? Seems as if he's multitasking, as you know.
No, I'm here, my brother. My apology. I was saying that I don't really have a solution because, as the good bit said, is what we sow we reap. And after listening to that local this morning who was here from a child, grew up here and know the ins and the outs at the highest levels here.
Yes.
I am saying if Britain realizes that what that local said is what is happening here and is prepared to take strong action to protect, and this might sound strange to hear me say that, to hear Kenny say that, but if Britain realizes what is happening to save the best interests of the people of this territory and decide to strip it down to the core, I am 100% in agreement with the move, because from what the locals said, And she has all the right reasons to express it the way she did. If this is what it has come to, and the hypocrisy and lies and whatever else that has been happening here, and people are stuck where they are simply because of political control, then it is absolutely appalling. And I'm saying, if moving forward means cleaning the house top to bottom, every nook and cranny, it needs to be clean. And I speak on behalf of the immigrant community in this country. Yes? Because we have an amazing bunch of immigrants here who have worked like hell, like jackasses, to keep this territory together. Right now, you're talking about the high school project happening over there. And I need to say this. When I came here 16 years ago, I used to earn $100 a day as a laborer on a site. I am told from reliable sources that laborers currently on that project are earning $85 a day. $85 a day after 16 years. Yes? You look at trade men barely earning $120 a day to work on the site. We talk about steel men, the project can't move unless the steel men farm out all of those columns and whatever else and drop it on the ground. I mean, the guys are earning less to nothing, and it is a big contention over there. I'm saying, when the day is done, we cannot continue like this, but if we're going to move forward. These are the things that local, well-thinking people are having a serious problem with. And as an immigrant, all of us are affected. Because when the local will take home the money, the immigrant is balling because they barely can put 2 cents together in many cases because of the level of exploitation happening here. You're talking about the 10-year period living in this country, and many here, as you mentioned earlier, are now here for 20, 25, 30 odd years without even acknowledgement. Come on, man. If there's nothing that needs to do, this place needs to be stripped from top to bottom, and I 100% agree with it. The time has come, sir. The time has come. It's reasonable based on the facts as presented by locals themselves right now. It's hard to ignore it, guys. It's very hard to ignore it.
Very, very hard to ignore it. Why we're hard to ignore it? We are smack dab in the House of Assembly. Our team is telling us that the House of Assembly is in full effect. We're going to move over to the works in a while. We're not just run over there. But Terence, you have heard what Kenny said. Kenny is saying that the full length of the law needs to be established so we can see some transparency within the governance. You asked, what is your solution, Terence? Because you asked us what's the solution, but we want to ask you, what is your solution?
Well, honestly, that
yes,
I think they should call a fresh election, election immediately, and give the people of the territory the chance to decide the future. Whoever they choose, I mean, move over the candidates and them that is present. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To me, the most of the bigger heads, the older heads. They have some young people join some of the party, might have some potential. You know what I mean? We'll never know because we didn't get to, you know. So to me, that is the way I would have go. I would have called an election immediately. That is my view.
Yes.
And again, I'm going to say this. My concern the British coming here, you point out something there, and I have the opinion that is one thing is going to happen, because I was telling my friend and my Javi yesterday, leading to today. One thing I told him yesterday, I could bet my life a British ship already around the island.
Long time.
Last night I was in a conversation and I was told a British ship already here. There's 2 reasons why the ship here. I learned 2 reasons why. But my biggest concern, and it's not something that people will talk about. People will say, oh, so you condone that? Yes, I condone it because I know what build this territory. You understand? And I know without it, this territory is nothing. You understand? So why the Britain want to come in it? The Britain want to stop the flow of the money that driving this economy. And anytime they cut off that, Britain is not going to substitute it with nothing. I cannot see they substituting it with nothing. So the people of this territory and the people like myself who come in here will suffer. Because the money would not be there to circulate like how it circulates on the street. In spite of all the corruption and all the things that you all point out, which you all are so right, still, we still survive. You know how we are allowed to survive and still could stay here? And all that we ain't gone and people still coming here? It's because of the same money that I'm referring to, what is on the street, what driving this economy, all the construction sector.
Yeah, but can I say
something? That is the first thing, yes. Before you say so, that is the first thing. And you're right when you say they're going to build a Navy base. They are going to build a base because they want to cut off the flow. They know what is driving this economy here and is going to destroy it. And when they destroy it, it's going to destroy us.
Yeah, but this is not news to people like yourself, Terence. You know, and this, you know, I was banking with all the chattery that I have every day. I was banking that I was wrong. I pray to God that I was wrong. I pray to God that I was wrong and judging these brothers and sisters. They weren't corrupt. I look at the paperwork. I said, Father God, this can't be real. What I am reading cannot be true, not in 2022. But then, Terence, when the reality hit me that we're dealing with these kind of unscrupulous people, I can't live like an ostrich anymore. I trust me, I blame the premier, I blame the governor for a whole heap of things, I blame the queen for a host of things. But what I won't blame the queen for is how we treat each other. While so slavery was in full, you know, a lot of us still had to hold on to certain etiquettes, certain morals that has sustained us up to this very day, you know. When I just resided in the British Virgin Islands, I could put out my finger and within 2 minutes, Terence, 10 cars stop on my foot. They don't know me from Ainsworth. But these people did not worship cars. They wouldn't invite me to them house and live for much jewelry. Because guess what? It wasn't about the materialistic things, Terence. It was about they wanted to show love. Over the years, Terence, especially after the hurricane, what has happened to the country? It has been hijacked by people like Sowande Yohoro, who don't have no love or compassion in his heart. It has been hijacked by people like Dr. Pickering, who has no love and compassion in their heart. They don't love this Virgin Island. They want to show off the British Virgin Islands how better we are living, how better we can eat, how better we can travel. This bossy slave attitude is what the crown is using today to measure all of us so that we are all some vanity crazed, non-moral, unscrupulous bunch of people. We are not that people. We never was those people.
Well, while I recognize some of the problems that you name out there and the harsh reality of the British Virgin Islands, we also can't focus. We can't focus only on that. You can't just highlight that, in my view, alone. You know what I mean?
You have to highlight the good and the bad. The good and the bad.
Yes, and right. But everybody also have a right to live the life that they choose to live. And if you have money and I have money, and if you choose to buy a house and I choose to buy a boat, that is a choice I make. You know what I mean? And that's one thing we have to get out of our head. We the people choose to remember, this country is not mine. You know what I mean? I from my start with my listen. When I say the country is not mine, let me finish. I'm a Vincent born, reside in the territory. And everywhere had their own rules and laws. I don't agree with half of the rules and laws. I have expressed this on your program over a number of years. But by the end of the day, that is how them find it fit. That is how them see it fit to run the country. And
is it right? Is it right? Is it right? Is it right? So stop chastise. So stop chastise the government for stepping in and try it right.
No, this government is not trying to make it right.
Wait, man.
That's the point.
Team from Teeth don't
I have
like.
a problem with Terrence.
Yeah, man.
I have a problem with Terrence saying that. No. I have to come in here. I have a problem with you saying that, Terrence. And I'll tell you why. If you in your house, I don't care how you want to run your house, you know. But there's a thing that is called wrong and another one called right. And if a man is to remain lawful, you have to do what is right. Don't tell me that the governor is wrong to do what he's doing. He, much as Britain may have their motives, has to do what is just and right on behalf of the people. He doesn't have a choice.
But he is not doing that on behalf of the people. The people that...
But regardless, listen, sir, regardless, my brother, I just said it, you know, regardless of the motive, I just said it. Because when the day is over, sir, you cannot, and I said it already and I'm going to say it again, you cannot overlook the fact, which is now coming from the local corners of this community, that a lot of crap has happened here over the years. You think Britain has been ignoring all of these things? You think you haven't been waiting for the right time to put in your hands to adjust these things? Oh, don't fool yourself, brother.
No, I am not fooling myself, and this is why I continue to say again. So what you was paying the governor, why the past governor, and they was living off of the people? What was the role? They could have stopped some of the things that we are arguing.
No, the governor is not here.
No, my brother, hello. The past governor did his job. He did it well. The man is an MI6 man. He came, he did his investigation.
Yes.
And on his way out, he assigned the new governor, pick up here and move on. You think these people are stupid, brother? What's wrong with you?
But it have 3 more governors besides those 2. And they say corruption is over 20 years.
Well, they've been watching it. You don't think they're watching it? I mean, watching it, brother.
You are telling me you're watching it. So you gonna watch me go over there and kill a man?
Oh, you mean? Me have to watch it. Terrence. It is not my job to stop you from doing anything. It's your brain in your skull. And if you don't use your brain in your skull, don't blame nobody.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you are put to overlook me, if you give me a security work, guys, let me break this down to you.
Yeah.
If I'm a security, I've been hired by you. You're my boss. You hire me to watch your premises. You are workman around your premises. Right? Something goes missing. I'm in security. Who you going to come to?
Wow, we're in a serious situation. Because Terrence, I am lost for words because as I said, the British has played us like a card pack. But what is worse is now that the British play us like a card pack, they have a blueprint as to how we treat each other. So you're worried. Hold on, if you're worried about the British Virgin Islands going back to the UK, what you need to worry about is the track record that our brothers and sisters have left for the Europeans to work with. Because if they can just get up and tell Kenny say he need to leave the island because he ain't from here, the governor is going to use the said measuring stick. Well, it's on the record that we send you home for. And this is what hurts us as a people. The British Virgin Islands brothers and sisters were given an opportunity to look out for us, but they were looking for us. They were looking out for the slave master. And now the slave master is beating them. You're going to see how good they're the crown assets. You're going to see how much. Look, you notice when the Commission of Inquiry came in, all of them show up. If I take up the phone and call any one of these clowns right now, they don't answer. But once the Commission of Inquiry, the white man, the Caucasian call you, you run to his back and call. Now, if you don't love yourself, how can the Caucasian think that you love them? You think the Caucasians are stupid?
Well, that is our problem, and that's the same thing I'm stating my argument, and we as a people have a problem. You know what I mean? And I'm not condoning the people action. I've lived in here over 15 years now. I heard a lot, I seen a lot, but I'm saying this here. I live past all of it. I live, you know what I mean? And I ain't saying they should continue down the road, but there is means and ways also. And the solution I would put on the table is they call a fresh election, and that is all I have to say. What they done, what they do everywhere, fraud, everywhere, they do the same thing. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it happened all over. And I'm saying this before you. The reason I'm holding the governor also accountable, which you all are doing, is because your job, your portfolio as a governor coming into the territory from 20 years ago for 4 years is to oversee the affairs of the people and Britain interest. So if 20 years ago there was Stephen, you supposed to lock up somebody 20 years ago. You can't come tell me wait till 20 years later. Take a fifth governor, and then you don't get your gratuity, you don't get all your benefits and gone your way. Huh? We must play up like night. No, my brother. And I go listen to all you bless up, thanks for your time. Thanks to Kenny, thanks to everybody. Bless up, thanks for your time.
One up.
Keep fire burning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's Terrence right there, and he said his part. PSI Radio, you seem to be your radar is showing that there's a up spike in your concern. You want to leave it there, or you want to expand on it some more?
I don't listen. It's too clear right now. You know, there's not much of a concern now, because when it is done, and it's going to be tough to say it this way. But again, I always quote the Bible. Whoever don't like Bible says, "Right, man, write it." That's their crap to deal with. But I'm telling you straight, I always quote the book, because whatever it says always. It said, God is not mocked whatsoever man sow the same shall he also reap. You say what you want about it. It happened exactly as it is written. And I'm saying, if this is the time, and locals know, this part of it is what is keeping my head together. Because since last week Thursday, I hardly get a good night's sleep until maybe a night or so. When I look through it, no. If locals are saying this is warranted, and you have a certain sect that is giving against the other because they don't want it so, I could understand exactly why that is so now, because when it is done, when you follow the sugar trail through all of these things, you find that the people who you probably have as friends might be implicated in the matter. Then yes, you're going to do everything to prevent anything going any place. And worse, the premier begins to rat. You think you see anything yet? When they offer him a reduction in his sentence and say, if you tell us what the hell is going on, then we will cut 10 years off the thing, or we take 20 years off the thing. You think he's gonna go to jail alone and everybody else out here sit and watch him? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
When they go to the other two people that whoever else they have there, listen, you go see something's happening on you, it's gonna drive you literally nuts, because people are gonna talk, and when people start, I don't think the people could come back here to live. He can't come back here.
Who can't come out there?
In order to the incarcerated premier. Anyhow things go as the drug agency wish it to go.
Yeah.
And he rats on the people who have been colluding with him in all of this. He can't come back here. Because all of them man on the road, there's no way you go. You can't bust by your man them and come back in the same territory come live. They kill you. Let's get real about this. And these are some of the things that we need to understand. It is not going to stop where it is. If any at all, from the reports that we have, there is a cessation, and Andrew decides to take the fall, then that might be one thing. But will he take the fall? Right now you said they lock up 2 more people overnight, police picking up people on here, because people are talking. Why do you think that is happening? You think they start talking yet? Listen to me, man.
Wow. People.
It is when this is done. Let me tell you something. Britain has a big blouse and skirt boom, and they are sweeping from left to right across this territory, and it is going to blow your mind, brother, when this is over. I'm telling you. You think it's a joke right now? Okay.
We've just seen
a lot of man pissing up them trousers right now, pissing in them pants, boss. Because if things are to go the way Britain have it set, if the COI don't catch them, the drug administration go anywhere you put it now is trouble, boss. You think this is a joke, man?
Wow. I just hold on. I just saw Julian Willock representing his post, so he is still up and going. And I just saw the House of Assembly. I am going to go over there in a short while to get excerpts from it, but my phone line is ringing tremendously. Kenny, I just want to continue, Sharon.
Guys, what's going on with the House of Representatives? It's up and running over trying to do something.
All right, I'll have to cut you loose, you and Kenny, to get into that meat of the matter, because Suwanda Uhuru was speaking, and it is quite evident that these brothers are planning to have business as usual, and I don't think it can ever be business as usual. Some of the comments that's coming through is very distasteful. So long as is what we do a good opening speech. They're saying opening speech for Natalia, not a leader. We do need a united front to get through this stressing period right now. People are calling it a very stressing time, Kenny. We will be seeing a rise in fever grass and lemongrass tea coming in the next few weeks for migraines. PSI Radio, before I let you go, watch your back and what you want to say to our brothers and sisters who are looking for the better day. I think this is a great day still. Okay, seems like
everybody got it, just me and you got it.
All right, well, Sister Cher, I am jumping fence because I want to play this thing here and then get to the meeting.
Could you let me know what's going on later when you got time?
I will.
I ain't up to.
I will. I'll send some papers to you also. Yes.
Okay, please. Love you. Be blessed. Doing the good work. The Maroon spirit and Bengi
Rastafari. Yeah, give thanks. That is Sharon right there. We are going to head over to the our fields because we understand that Suwanda Uhuru, Natalia Wheatley, has just finished with the House of Assembly. And we want to get some of that meat for our people. You've been listening to live broadcast right here of the happenings in the British Virgin Islands. This morning is called the Roundup. Yes, the British Virgin Islands Roundup. The list that I have in my hands, people, is very, 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 very neat. And it is a list with several names on it, and we're just trying to get to the root of it. Our DJ is telling us that we have the tape lined up, but in the meantime, between time.
Oh yeah. This honorable court is now in session. Please rise. Honorable judge. Presiding. Will the prosecution please present your opening statement?
Yes, Your Worship.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Some people in Tortola telling me I should get into politics. You ain't afraid to sing about corruption while others biting their lip. You better get that idea right out your mind. Handle that stress. Half of them politicians in some kind of scam. They shake your hand and they call you friend. Tell them they lie. For your best interest they say they looking. Tell them they lie. When they make promise before election, watch them
Counselor, please call your first witness.
Your worship, we call the government to the stand on charges of corruption in the labor department. The government in the sunshine promise, they're looking out for
now read a first time.
best interest, like the labor minister.
Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded that the bill shortly entitled International Tax Authority Amendment Act 2022 be now read for a first time. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. Therefore, I call upon the clerk to read the bill for the first time.
This act may be cited as the International Tax Authority Amendment Act 2022.
Thank you. I call upon the Acting Premier and Minister of Finance to move a motion on the Education Amendment Act 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that leave be granted to introduce the following bill standing in my name shortly entitled Education Amendment Act 2022.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that leave to introduce the bill shortly entitled Education Amendment Act 2022 be granted. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. I call upon the Acting Premier and Acting Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I introduce the bill standing in my name shortly entitled Education Amendment Act 2022 and will explain its provisions at the second reading. Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill shortly entitled Education Amendment Act 2022 be now read a first time.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded. The bill shortly entitled Education Amendment Act 2022 be now read for a first time. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. Therefore, I call upon the clerk to read the bill for a first time.
This act may be cited as the Education Amendment Act 2022.
Thank you. I call upon the acting leader of government's business and the acting premier to move a motion for the suspension of Standing Order 52-2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that Standing Order number 52-2 be suspended to allow for the bill shortly entitled International Tax Authority Amendment Act 2022.
I rise to second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that Standing Order number 52-2 be suspended to allow the bill entitled International Tax Authority Amendment Act 2022 be read a second time. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. The motion is passed. I now call upon the leader of government's business and the acting premier for the second and third reading of the bill.
Yeah, there you have it. The likes of Julian Willock in his English attire. Yes, he's still wearing the wig. You know, I mean, that clown, you know. I don't know where we get these clowns from. This is why we have the likes of the UK at our doorstep trying to dictate to us what time it is. We are all over the globe right now. Talking about all over the globe, we are also looking at a situation. We understand that Harry Toddler has breaking out some fight. We're gonna have to bring that over. I think we have the likes of Chief Brown. He gave us a call a while ago. We're just seeing if all is well. The Maroons are monitoring every single thing that is going on right now, and we are urging people to, you know, just keep it real. Was trying to call Beaker Bailey because we have so much things on the line this morning and we want to get everything up to par. Remember the sponsors are none other than Nyamin's restaurant, Fine Caribbean Cuisine. We're going to get into that scenario, and we just want to let you know. As I said, the list is here, people. The British Virgin Islands has been the scope of what's popping. We need to talk with none other than himself, Billy Dean. He is very, very much up to par. Also, we mentioned that we're going over to a Kongpong town because there is some development happening over there. We understand that a kidnapping is also something that we need to look into. We're understanding that Richard Curry, his name was called in that. We don't know how true it is, but we are going to see if we could get back some answers. Some answers are very, 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 very much. Let's see if we can go over to Mr. Reed. We've been trying to reach him from yesterday via our phone line here, and we're not getting to it. This is Mead Media House. The Maroons are so much over the whole settings, and if we could get this gentleman to chat with us, it seems as if he is not picking up, but let us head back over to our desk. The Maroon security team is also looking at this very, very, very serious. The House of Assembly has just brought down the curtains. We're waiting also. Grand Rising, Etta, how you doing? How you doing? Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. How are you still in the House of Assembly?
No.
I could swear I just saw you in the House of Assembly, Etta. Don't know that the feds are working on our lines. The disruption that I'm hearing, I don't want when you're listening back the program you can't hear yourself, you know, Etta. So I'm trying to reach out to you. We have a list here, Etta. This list that we spoke about, Julian Willock's name has been on it, but we just saw him a while ago inside of the House of Assembly. What is the roundup looking like? I'm hearing that the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is working hard this morning. Any to that?
Yeah, I see that each and everyone on the panel side of the room. Yeah, okay.
Why your background so noisy and echoing? Something not right on your line right there. I know the feds are bugging.
I'm on the road.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. I need to talk to you when you're in a better position because it's very loud, and I don't want to put you in that predicament. I want you to hear yourself when we're chatting.
No, you can hear me now.
I hear you. What it's echoing? It's echoing tremendously. I don't know why it's echoing like that. Yeah. Let me set up Etta and then call right forward to Etta. We are monitoring the British Virgin Islands situation. The House of Assembly was just held a while ago, so it seems as if the suspension of the Constitution is not being taken serious. Master of Arms, Grand Rising, how you doing, sir? How you doing?
Grand Rising. Oh, you on the radio?
Yes, I'm live. You wanted to talk to me off the air because my program done 2 o'clock, you know. I could call you back if that's necessary.
Oh, yes, based on some things I sent you in the inbox that is very urgent to our moving forward.
Yeah. You are monitoring the situation all over. I want to give thanks for that. And we will touch base with you in a while.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. peace and love. That is the Master of Arms right there. And I want to say that, you know, we have so much things popping. 2 o'clock is our line that we're going to call it. Thank you so much for some of our people for holding it down. Give us a minute while we go search these documents that have just been sent to us. As I said before, we are also trying to get some movers and shakers. Hold on, people.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This honorable court is now in session. Please rise. Honorable judge presiding. Will the prosecution please present your opening statement?
Yes, Your Worship.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Some people in Tortola telling me I should get into politics. You ain't afraid to sing about corruption while others biting their lip. You better get that idea right out your mind, cause I can't handle that stress. Half of them politicians in some kind of scampishness. When they shake your hand and they call you friend, tell them they lie. For your best interest they say they looking. Tell them they lie. When they make promise before election, watch them straight in the eye. A pack of wolf in sheep clothing, they're too damn lie. They only want power, forget about the future. They too damn lie.
Counselor, please call the first witness.
Your Worship, we call the government to the stand on charges of corruption in the Labor Department. The government in the sunshine promise they looking out for we best interest. Like the Labor Minister fall asleep, that department is in a mess. The one you have in Virgin Gorda, you need to get rid of she. I hear she bank account getting fat for taking bribery money. When they tell you that they will rearrange, tell them they lie. Equal rights for all, boy, they telling tales. Tell them they lie. When they say they don't stand for corruption, watch them right in the eye. All of them is the same damn thing, they too damn lie. Selling out for money, forget about their country. They too damn lie.
On the recommendation from the Commission of Inquiry remains that of direct rule by the United Kingdom government under the governor. And we must, at all costs, as people of the Virgin Islands, show that we have matured to this point. It took us 70 years to get there, and there's nothing that we should do to allow it to be taken away from us. And show that we are united in keeping the territory as self-governing under your elected representatives. We are hoping that tomorrow the government and the opposition will meet with the minister with a united front, and I think that we are united enough to know that that is important and that we continue to do that. If you ask me directions right now, they won't be the same as if you did ask me a few days before. But I think that we are working hard and diligent enough to make sure that this comes to fruition. I stand by the statement read by the leader of the opposition. I think that it was timely. We had to come out before you today and make that statement to let you know what our position is regarding the situation with the Premier and the situation is regarding the Commission of Inquiry. Thank you.
We're going to hear from Mark Vanterpool. We're hearing from Julian Fraser a while ago. So, we're in the field. Let's go.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Vanterpool. I'm a member of Her Majesty's loyal opposition in the territory of the Virgin Islands. We are at a crossroad in our territory. It's a rather sad time. However, we must unite as a people, condemn what actions have taken place in recent days, particularly on Thursday regarding the Premier and others around him. We must make clear condemnation and move forward to seek to restore the confidence of our people in the Virgin Islands so that we can move our territory forward together. I believe it's a time when all 12 members of the House of Assembly must come together, not in the spirit of politicians, but in the spirit of statesmen and women who will be only considering the welfare of the people of the territory of the Virgin Islands and the direction in which our country will go while we are at these crossroads. The direction we take will be important for our youth, our future generations, at this very moment in the state of affairs of the territory of the Virgin Islands. We must not be selfish. We must not be men and women of conceit. We must understand where we are and seek solutions to where we go as the best direction from these crossroads for the territory of the Virgin Islands. As one of the leaders of the territory, an elected member of the House of Assembly, I would and have been seeking through prayers and through advice in whatever direction is best to seek God's guidance as to where this territory should be going at this moment in time. So it is time for us to work together, both sides of the aisle, over the next several days, weeks, months, and years to seriously meet the challenges and make decisions that would positively impact the territory of the Virgin Islands. If you know me, I'm obviously one who would like to see us continue to grow and develop as a territory and be able to manage our affairs as best we should. And hopefully we won't have to go to the option where others determine and rule us at this time and going back to what may be considered colonialism that should be totally unacceptable in the Virgin Islands. In my opinion, I believe there are other alternatives to make sure that the Commission of Inquiry's recommendations outside of the REC rule can be implemented in a different way than the position where the REC rule has to come into place to implement those. They should be implemented, and we should be proposing ways of how they're implemented urgently and to ensure that they can have a positive effect on good governance for the territory of the Virgin Islands. So I will be in the forefront pushing to ensure that we implement those recommendations as best we can without the option of direct rule to ensure that its implementation. Therefore, I want to encourage all of us to unite, work together, and let us seek to go forward rather than backward in trying to maintain our territory's pride and ensure that we as a people are united to seek the right guidance at this juncture of our territory. Regretfully, what has happened on Thursday has happened. We hope that this does not totally cloud our efforts to seek to ensure good governance and seek to implement the recommendations as best we can of the Commission of Inquiry. With those words, I want to say I support our leader of opposition in his statement that he made today, Honorable Marlon Penn, and we as a group seek to unite with the government at this stage to ensure that we can make the right steps and good governance can prevail in light of all of this. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless our beautiful Virgin Islands.
Mayday, Mayday. The third day in the month of May. Mayday, Mayday. The BVI Club Roundup is on.
Fathers are talking to the fathers. Should be the cornerstone and the foundation of the family. They go. Children left at home while single mothers only scratching to make a dime. While on the corner, little Johnny spending his time. The path of lawlessness was his chosen way. Lack of guidance, that was the cause. And now little Johnny behind the prison bars. The money you put aside for the school children, you
Good afternoon to the people of the Virgin Islands. My name is Melvin Turnbull, representative for the 2nd Electoral District, and I am also a member of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition. The BVI is in yet another, what seems to be, dismal state. But the one thing that I am confident and remain confident about is the tests and the trials that we have faced within this territory, with the help of Almighty God, we have been able to overcome through unity, through strength, through the resilience of our Virgin Islands people, which is the core of the fabric of the Virgin Islands. The news that occurred on Thursday in relationship to the arrest of Premier Andrew Foy was yet another hurtful occurrence. The people of the 2nd District and wider Virgin Islands, I stand with the leader opposition, with the fellow members here in the opposition, and I also do not condone the actions of Premier Foy. His actions to me were self-serving and has undermined the very fabric of everything that our forefathers have built, died, bled, and fought for. They are distasteful and disrespectful to the people of these Virgin Islands. I, together with my colleagues, as was said by the leader of the opposition, denounce and disassociate myself with him and his actions. And I wish to let the people of the Virgin Islands know that sometimes we, in the opposition, appear to be the lone voice in the wilderness. But I and we will continue to speak our truth. I will stand in my integrity, and I will never lose sight that country must be above self, principle above personal preference, and people above politics. My heart goes out to the family of Honorable Premier Foy and all of us in this territory as we continue to Matthew 6:33, which says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness for direction and guidance." I am before you today as a servant leader, not knowing what the future may hold, but I'm certain of who holds the future. I'm confident and confident in knowing that his word declares that he will never give us more than we can bear, and he will never leave us or forsake us. I'm hopeful that as we stand united and as we activate the shift and change that is absolutely necessary for our survival and continued development as a territory, I, Melvin Mitch Turnbull, will take the lead to say that I humble myself. I am praying and seeking God's face. I am turning from every wicked and undesirable way so that God will hear my cry and heal our land. May God continue to bless these beautiful Virgin Islands and strengthen the people as we grow from strength to strength.
Yeah, that's the likes of Mitch Turnbull right there, and he's representing the National Democratic Party, and there's a lot of things flying on the ground right now. You see the pictures that is up. Let me give you the names. First, you start with Andrew Foy, then you have Dancia Penn, then you have Skelton Klein, then you have Julian Willock, and then Mark Vanterpool. The list that I have there this morning have 35 names on it. Some have been elected by the people, some have not, but they all have one thing in common. They're all lodge members. They all attend the lodge. And this is why our people is in a predicament, because some of our brothers and sisters, instead of standing up and growing a backbone, they have run like cowards and have kissed the slave masters you-know-what. We're not telling our people that you cannot make compromise, but with the legacy of our forefathers, our ancestors that have fought, bled, and died for us to reach to this junction, any one of our people, and I say this without any apology, any one of our people that compromise our sovereignty should be charged for treason. They should be charged for treason. And the punishment for treason is death. Sometime the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants. Our people, the maroon people, have been going through this scenario for way too long. As you heard a while ago, we're at a crossroad whether or not to recognize our brothers and sisters for the culprit that they are, the sellout that they are, the coward that they are, the traitors that they are, because they're blood related to us. Our legacy does not deal with only blood relatives. It deals with ancestral powers. We are here fighting spiritual wickedness in high and low places. The British know themselves that they are in a war because they are the capturers. They have been capturing our people for centuries. Now they have come around with a Westminster scenario. And this Westminster scenario is spread throughout all the islands of the Maroons. Our leaders are swearing to serve the Queen and the heir to her throne, and not the people, the Maroons. Our leaders have taken unto themselves to treat our people worse than the slave masters, because they are expecting the slave masters to hold them accountable for treating something that the slave master themselves don't appreciate love. If the slave masters don't love our people, and you are put in place to do the slave master work, don't you think that you should be held accountable? Don't you think that as politicians going around, servants of the people, enacting the rules and regulation of the Westminster European system upon our brothers and sisters, imprisoning them under the auspices that these laws and rules are to die for? These educated jackass who call themselves ministers, who have put treasonous method upon our people, need to be held accountable. The British Virgin Islands, whether we take it or not, whether they chastise our people or build our people, it is for the betterment of a people. Our accomplishment will never be measured by any European, any British establishment. No slave master can measure our accomplishment. But in the means of accomplishing good for our nation of the Maroons, if you're going to accomplish greatness by hurting our people, you're no use to us. Don't try to impress the slave master by treating your people like dirt, because at the end of the day, the slave master will come back and they will do the chastising. I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. Most importantly, the Almighty God that created earth love you even more. United we stand, divided we fall. Let us love ourselves even a little more, so the Europeans and the slave masters, or the Caucasians who have these slave master habits, can feel jealous as to how we love one another. Let's love ourselves. And by loving ourselves, look in the mirror and see the reflection. And treat your brothers and sisters with the said love that you want. Until tomorrow morning, Jah guide.
Who put this country in this crisis? Who put this country in this crisis? You could fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. You know, I know, they put their hand in the cookie jar. You know, I know, they be tampering with the cookie jar. The jar ain't leaking, but the cookie missing. The jar ain't leaking, but the cookie missing. VIP stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you. Then NDP stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you. Then who all they do the pointing fingers. Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame, so them pointing fingers. I say man, they pointing fingers. Everybody pointing fingers.
up again, pull it up again, pull it up again.
You could fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. You know, I know, they put their hand in the cookie jar. You know, I know, they be tampering with the cookie jar. The jar ain't leaking, but the cookie missing. The jar ain't leaking, but the cookie missing. VIP stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then NDP stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then all they do the pointing finger. Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. Number one stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then number two stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then who all they do the pointing fingers. Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. Number three stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then who? Number four stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then who? All they do the pointing fingers. Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. Pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. Number five stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then who? Number six stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then who? All they do the pointing fingers. Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. Nobody want to take the blame for them pointing fingers. Number seven stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you couldn't be. Then who? Number eight stole the cookie from the
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistant radio station. Freshradiovybz. Freshradiovybz. Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistant radio station. Freshradiovybz.
in this crisis. You could fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't